a real nerd. People say I'm a fool, but they never got the news that I'm a wild one. Oh yeah, I'm a wild one. You better turn it up, better keep the channel down, cause you're watching Wild Mike and his real wild child. Oh yeah, I'm a wild one. You better turn it up, better keep the channel down, cause you're watching Wild Mike and his real wild child.
Howdy folks, this is Vile Mike here, and for once there's no delay when I'm using the computer. How you doing, Alehu?
I think I'm awake. I'm not sure yet.
Well, of course, I left my coffee outside.
Idiot.
We were trying to figure out what was wrong with the computer. So I'm going to switch over to the other device where I might robot a little bit for the people watching. Sorry about that. And I'll be right back. Alehu, regale them with your tiredness.
Oh, sorry, not sleepiness, tiredness. Okay, lack of sleep. I've been trying to go out sporadically all night last night just to see some stars. Can't. I go to Market Street, clouds. I'm like, okay, fine. I'll wait here till the next bus goes by. Still clouds. I go home. Hour later, I look out the windows, no clouds. I'm like, okay, what the hell? Go back out to Market Street, more clouds and a little fog. I'm like, nope, I'm going home. Got this morning at 4:30, listening to loud music being banging, playing in the hallways. Like, holy shit, lack of sleep. I'm sleepy.
That was a little bit more than I was expecting.
You asked, and I obliged.
And because I would be remiss to not show it off, this is the jacket Mrs. Vile got me for my birthday.
97.
I've literally been wearing it for like the last several hours, or like 12 hours.
I'm not sure if we're going to have colored clouds tonight.
Well, we got clouds here. It's been raining on and off since yesterday.
Same here.
But I was going to say, on my birthday, I ended up getting sick. I mean, it was really a lot of fun. I threw up in my car, made it smell oh so pretty. But because of that, I ended up binge watching For All Mankind. Not only that, I finished it. I am completely caught up, Alehu.
Thank you. Now, where's Jesse? we was having conversations like, we should have our own stream because I want to talk about the show and you want to talk about the show, but Mike doesn't like spoilers and he hasn't caught up yet. Like, how do we talk around this shit? Like, where's NBK? Come on. Now he can actually open his mouth.
Not only that, I literally watched an episode this morning because I realized there was a new episode.
I haven't seen the last one yet.
So the one that was released 2 days ago, you haven't watched, so I'm actually now more up than you are.
That one? Yes, I have. Sorry, I thought you meant the new one got dropped early. Like, no, I did watch the last one.
The one that was released the day after my birthday.
Yeah.
Because I mostly binged it actually the day after my birthday because the day of my birthday I wasn't feeling good. So, yeah, I ended up not making it down to Mexico till yesterday because I didn't want to come down to Mexico already with diarrhea.
You're supposed to get diarrhea when you leave Mexico, not when you go to it. Jeez.
Exactly. So I waited till that was over. Dude, I ended up doing laundry yesterday when I wasn't feeling good. Or on Friday when I wasn't feeling good. God, I'm so even confused about what day it is. But it took me 5 hours to do a single load of laundry.
Why?
Because I kept falling asleep.
Yeah.
Oh, I just got the notification.
I
Oh,
have not. I have not got any notifications.
Oh, I love how I get your notifications that you're live, but I don't get the notifications that I went live.
I'm still waiting for your notification to go live, man.
Stupid dog.
Oh shit! I know what I forgot to do yesterday. Damn it! I forgot to remind him. Damn it! Oh well. I was trying to get Quirky to pop up here, but every time he looks at his messages, he's like, "Oops, sorry, I just missed it." I was gonna send a message today. Oh well, fuck it. I'm gonna send a message now saying anyway. Hang on. See if he lets me wait. So talk. I'm typing.
Okay, so since you've been wanting to talk about it, season 4 of the For All Mankind. I'm a little bit disappointed in it. It doesn't seem as good as the last 3 seasons.
Yeah, the Sergey was a little off-centered subplot point. Yeah, I can hear that, dude. That's why you're muting. I know. Yeah. Yeah, Sergey was a little plot point because there's supposed to be some kind of romantic relationship, but yet it just stopped. Yeah, he got a wife now, but it just stopped. Like he didn't really go to the romantic area. He just went, "Hi, Margot." Like not like I missed you. Like hello. Like what the hell was this, Sergio? Sergey, come on. You're supposed to have some kind of romantic interlude with Margot. You're just going casually, "Hi again."
Is it just me? God damn, too many fucking dogs. Is it just me, or is Margot completely out of character this season?
Yes, she is.
Because I don't see her doing anything like what she did.
No, Margot is not Margot. I'm like, what the hell? Alita is more Margot than she is.
And
But
then,
I'm glad that Sergey did tell Alita what really happened.
yeah, because someone needed to, and I don't know why Margot didn't.
I know that's out of character for Margot. She should have said something.
But not only that, the subplot with the black market stuff, I understand, but did they have to create a whole new character for it? Not only that, a character that seemed like an asshole the first few episodes and still consistently seems like an asshole.
Yeah, they had to have that in there.
I mean, I like the Russian black market guy a lot better than I liked the one.
Yeah, he's been doing it for a long time. He knows. He knows not to push.
And then what they're doing with Baldwin, yeah, he's also like off character. I don't get it. It's like, did they get a new writing team in between the seasons?
Well, I think they changed Ed because he's been getting screwed around season 1, 2, 3. He's been screwed around every single turn point. He's screwed over. You notice this? He's screwed over. Moonlighting, docking, space. He's screwed over. He's like, okay, I'm no longer on command and control. I get to relax and kick back of this. Wait a minute. Are people getting screwed over too? Huh. I'm still your boss, and you guys are getting screwed over? Huh. Let me step up here. Which actually
No,
proved a point for the Helio CEO because that move he did was really a dick move, but it was a strategic move. He's like, okay, who's really on my team? This is just petty cash. I love how Ed just stood his ground. He's like, okay, I see where you are, Ed. We can work together with this. Now that I liked.
well, my problem with that is the fact that he stayed on Mars the entire time is also out of character because he wanted to see his daughter and his grandson, but he's like, I'm not going to. And he's making excuses to not spend time with his family, and that seems out of character, especially with what happened to his son.
Yeah, but his kid and grandkid are up on Mars now, so
Oh, don't get me on the last episode. I'm sorry for those that haven't watched, but he had his grandson crawl through air vents, Die Hard style to do so. And the entire time I'm watching that, I'm like, no, dude, don't get your grandson involved. What the fuck are you doing? You are a horrible person. Fuck you. They've turned one of my favorite characters into one of my least favorite characters, and I hate it.
Medically speaking, I don't know how that kid can actually be healthier on Mars when the atmosphere inside the cabin is the same as Earth. So how can his heart rate be okay? Blood pressure, I understand, but his heart rate, no. Come on, it's the same pressure in the cabin as it is on Earth. It's not going to be different unless he's in the spacesuit all the time. You're muted.
The gravity's different.
Yeah, I know that, but air pressure. Any planet has oxygen. Yeah, okay, good. Gravity, good. What about air pressure? Hello, Captain Kirk. There's not enough air pressure to breathe down there. So I've been watching Anton Yeltsin's videos again.
Right back.
Yeah, in case you guys are wondering, Anton is back on YouTube after a little hiatus. You know, the guy who always goes, "Hello, beautiful people." Anton, check him out. Cool science dude.
All right, I'm back inside.
Okay. Good. No more shiny bald head.
I don't know. I could.
Oh, no. I'm blind. The glare. The glare. The echo. Echo. Oh, yeah, right. It got fixed.
Let me go back. Okay. But yeah, yeah, it's just that so many people do not seem like they should be the way they are, and it's starting to piss me off.
Should what? Should breed? You just muted.
I muted? Can you not hear me again?
Okay, I'm not sure if it's me, but you are frozen and roboting, but the ticker's still on the bottom.
Text message.
The fuck?
Okay. They can hear me in the chat.
Then it must be me. What the hell is going on with my internet this morning? Jeez.
Wouldn't be a CNA stream without everybody having issues.
It says I'm connected. And I had an echo again?
I can hear you just fine. I don't hear an echo.
That is weird. Okay. I reset my router yesterday. Kept on lagging on YouTube, so I decided to reset it, and everything was okay. Now this.
You have another fucking text message.
Too much morning weed?
Not enough.
Yeah. And we have an old timer in the black and white era. How you doing?
Hello, guys. Do you want me to go back to my icon so that there's less bandwidth used since you're having problems?
I don't know. We'll see if there is an issue. Right now, I'm running off of Mozilla, not Chrome, because I think that was what was causing the lag issues. Is an issue with Chrome and StreamYards right now.
Yeah, because Mozilla doesn't. Mozilla's pretty good, but when it comes to sharing things like
yeah,
video or whatever, it's not great. I'll go ahead and put the thing on here.
So, but as long as I'm not having too many issues, I think it's fine. At least right now.
All right.
All right. So, are you watching For All Mankind too?
Are you kidding?
Because that's what we were talking about. Because I finally caught up.
Oh, okay. I will just stay quiet and wait for it to change. The subject to change eventually whenever that occurs. How does that sound?
No, I'm mostly complaining about how this current season, because I finally caught up to season 4. It seems like the writers have kind of changed some of the main characters from who they were before. I realize it's a 10-year gap, but I don't see them changing that much in that amount of time. I mean, to like from their core beliefs. It's weird. Malahu?
Yeah, I understand. I'll add this and then I'll pipe down. A lot of times I notice that people will attribute something to a writer's decision when it really probably wasn't their decision. Um, we saw that in various shows, including Star Trek Voyager and things like that. So um, that's my 2 cents there. They may have been under some sort of checkbox edict kind of thing, and then they're forced to write within those confines. But all right, I'm gonna mute. Go ahead.
No, I think you're right. I mean, my first gut reaction was to blame the writers. I even said that earlier. I was like, did they get a whole new writing team? But I guess Ronald D. Moore had wrote the outline for 7 seasons worth before the show even was conceived. So maybe it was just because of the way he had it planned out, they had to go that way.
Yeah.
But it's just, they literally turned one of my favorite characters into one of my least favorite characters. A guy that I would punch in the face for something he did in the last episode.
Wow.
You just don't like Ed, man. Admit it.
No.
It isn't just. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Sorry. He got his grandchild to commit a crime for him. And I'm sorry, that is just fucked up. You don't have your 7-year-old grandson commit a crime for you. That is just despicable on a level that I don't get.
Yeah, it's not just science fiction shows that have this problem. I mean, Mad Men, in its, I think, second to the last season, they did radical changes to some of the characters, not just in terms of appearance, but just overall. And the idea was that in this 1-year gap, because it was the late '60s, everything changed. Suddenly, people started having mustaches and growing their hair long, and like, it would have been better to see something gradual, but they claimed that was the way it was. So,
Never seen it.
yeah, it's a good show. You'd like it, Lihu.
Yeah, I never did the whole Mad Men. I know it's probably a show I'd enjoy as well, especially when they say there's a bunch of characters you're going to love to hate.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I've never seen Mad Men, never seen Breaking Bad, never seen Lost, never seen Sopranos.
Yeah. But for a show that has very little action in it, it somehow captivates me. But anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say no. I watched Lost. It was one of the only shows, or one of the last shows I watched with my mom. Breaking Bad, I didn't watch all the way through. I stopped around, I think, season 3 or 4. But most of it was because it was just at the time I had nowhere to stream it, and I was watching it actually as it came out. But one of the funniest bits about that show for me was the fact that my younger brother actually sold meth and did meth. He was basically the Jesse character.
Don't know who that is.
Walter White's partner, originally drug addict partner, former student, all that stuff.
Okay.
And what's funny is even before Breaking Bad came out, my brother, when he was at his lowest point, at one of his lowest points, he got really pissed off with me because I wouldn't cook meth for him when he found out that I knew how to do it.
It's the blue
That was funny.
persuasion.
Well, what's funny is the fact that my brother actually tried to get me to cook meth for him. And again, that was before Breaking Bad, so the fact that he came up with it before was kind of funny to me. Of course, when I told him no, he decided to do jumping jacks on the hood of my car, which was not funny.
Yeah, meth addicts are portrayed as very. I mean, when you see on that show what happens to them, after they become addicts, and you can't tell what behavior is worse, when they're on it or when they're off of it and
No.
need it. You know?
And when they're on it, they could be the happiest motherfucker on the planet and then turn on a dime into someone who's going to kill you for a Twinkie.
Yeah, it's really weird.
I mean, meth is just one of those drugs.
You have another fucking text message.
Well, it was funny because there was one scene where Jesse, after he got straight, but was still working for the one of the principal bad guys in the show.
Mhm.
He understood meth heads, and he needed to distract one of them, so he started digging a hole in the yard, and the guy wanted to help, and so the guy had no idea why he was digging the hole, but he just started digging, and that was what, because repetitious activity feels good when you're strung out on meth and you're trying to relieve stress apparently, and that worked, and I thought that was interesting. It's like the one thing you come away from Breaking Bad knowing is you never want to mess with this stuff. Yeah.
Well, as I said, that's why I think my brother ended up doing jumping jacks on the hood of my car, because it's a repetitive activity. He
Right.
was mad.
Yeah.
He wanted to jump on the car, but as soon as he started
Absolutely.
jumping on the car, he started doing the thing.
Yeah, it's
Good morning.
And we have someone else apparently says that they'll also kill for a Twinkie.
I wouldn't actually. I don't like Twinkies, but I was just thinking, well, you don't have to be a meth head to suddenly decide you could kill for a Twinkie.
yeah. Dandelion will kill for a ho-ho.
For a what? Sorry?
A ho-ho.
For a ho-ho.
A ho-ho. No, not those either. I don't really like
Sweets.
processed cake.
What about
food.
what about a ding dong?
She doesn't
Well,
like processed
maybe a
cake.
croissant, like a well-baked croissant,
Okay.
or carrot cake
Okay.
or something.
I realize by saying this, someone's going to be able to easily clip this out and use it against me in the future, but God, I love me a ding dong.
Well, MB Geek can appreciate that because he grew up on men.
That made no
Okay.
sense.
Yeah, that was not even funny.
Nope, didn't get that.
And besides, if you're going to make fun of somebody, make sure they're here. We want to make fun of people to their face, unless you're
Yeah,
LDG. Then we'll make fun of you behind your back because.
Well, Pickles is always listening.
Florida man.
I was gonna say I haven't watched any of these shows, but I'm like, I don't know, maybe 4 episodes into the new What If season.
Oh, the last one
That'll
was
be the next thing I
awesome.
start. I haven't started What If yet.
I liked the first 3 even. You know what though? So far, I'm enjoying the season. I think
Although
whatever
I
I'm
will
on right
say-
now, it was just getting too late in the evening for me to enjoy anything.
I will say that Lore Reloaded unfortunately spoiled something for me on What If on Twitter. So, Lore, I know you're watching. Thank you for that so much.
I'm
Laura's special.
I'm
Come
just happy
on.
that Howard the Duck was in it. Like that made the whole season for me. Howard the Duck being in the first episode.
Was he still voiced by Seth Green or no?
Yes.
I think he was. Yeah,
Seth is Howard.
yeah. I mean, an episode with what's her name? Gamora's sister,
Nebula?
Nebula and Howard the Duck in the same episode. What more could you ask for?
I know, that was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Although, to go back to Lore Reloaded for a second, my son is now impressed by the fact that Lore and I are friends because he saw how many subscribers Lore has. And he's like, wow, he's got more subscribers than some of the people I watch.
Remember, Lore is a special guy.
I don't know that person.
Oh,
Did
Lore
you
Reloaded.
thank,
Yeah,
did
he's
you
funny.
thank Lori Loaded on Twitter for spoiling the show for you?
Oh, of course not. I'm not that much of an asshole. I only am an asshole to people I don't like on Twitter.
Did he spoil it worse than LDG spoiled Mandalorian?
Did he spoil that for me? I don't remember.
Remember LDG's famous post? Luke, who's back?
Oh no, I don't remember that. But fortunately, so I wasn't spoiled.
Oh, okay.
But I think I've only seen the first 4 episodes. The one where they went to the trash planet.
Scar.
Yeah.
Oh, that one.
That was the episode that I'm like, yeah, I don't want to watch anymore right now. I didn't enjoy that episode as much.
Okay, I'm stupid because when you said the trash planet, I started thinking Star Wars. So I'm like, Lord Mandel.
Nice.
And then I remembered it's What If, it's Marvel, not Star Wars. Because I got the Mandalorian and What If just crossed wires in my brain. One of the things about Mandalorian I could say though, for Christmas, you know the Star Wars squadron ships, you know what I'm talking about? The ones that come with a figure that's about that tall, that has 2 points of articulation, and they have the ships that go with them.
Go on anyway.
I think so.
Okay. Well, I gave him the Mandalorian's N1 starfighter because he loves baby Grogu. And it has this little tiny non-removable baby Grogu inside the little dome of the N1 starfighter. And he loved that thing. Although no, you guys know what the Naboo starfighter looks like, right?
Yeah.
He argued with me that he said it should be flying backwards.
Well, that's a typical Lucas thing. He'll take a vehicle and he'll make it fly backwards, you know, to hide it where he got the inspiration from. So the X-wings are basically biplanes, World War I biplanes flying backwards with their wings crisscrossed. The Nebulon B frigate is a outboard motor, but it's being propelled in the opposite direction. So it's just that's a typical thing he does. I believe the Naboo starfighter is an F-104 starfighter, just in reverse.
I'd believe it, but I was trying to tell him no, it flies this way, and because the pilot won't be able to see, and he's like, well, they should have made the pilot on this side. But he actually enjoyed that. I'll see if I can post the video later. Because I took a video of the younger Vile kids all opening their Christmas presents.
Oh, nice.
And, I did my traditional dick move, and I tried to hide their gift cards by giving them this big pound-and-a-half thing of M&Ms, and I hid the gift cards inside the M&Ms.
Oh, what a chocolatey dick move.
So, of course, once one of them found him, they all found him. But
You
That
know,
would
I
have taken me all of 3 seconds. I do enjoy M&Ms. Was it peanut M&Ms?
oh, I can't eat M&Ms.
no, these were M&M minis.
Oh,
man.
I cannot eat
That's
M&Ms.
yeah. I wouldn't have done that. I'll eat like a peanut M&M till I'm sick, but regular M&M, meh.
I like almond M&Ms and I like plain, or what I used to call plain. Now they're called chocolate M&Ms because apparently we hurt the M&Ms' feelings by calling them plain.
Okay.
Enjoy your bug.
That was literally a commercial. That was a commercial where the M&Ms are like, I am not a plain M&M. I'm a milk chocolate M&M.
Okay. Well, you know, I don't ever watch TV, so I rarely see commercials. So it's really wonderful. That's actually why I stopped watching TV, because I hate commercials.
I've never heard of that commercial.
What's
And
funny?
they've followed you onto the internet.
I don't see those commercials on the internet.
I don't mind
you can-
commercials and the fact that I'm getting stuff for free, or at least, you know, watching a commercial is not a big time investment when I consider listening to or watching something for an hour.
Mhm.
Right.
I
Because
just paid my whatever $12 a month for a YouTube Prime subscription or a premium subscription. Then you don't get any commercials.
Yep, that's what I've got too. But
Yeah.
if you want to look at that commercial I just described, Elihu, you can find it on YouTube.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure at the time it was probably funny. So I don't
No,
care.
it wasn't. It wasn't. They were pretty pathetic. They this is right around the same time that, well, actually it was a little bit before the time when they started desexualizing the green M&M. I mean, it's an M&M.
Oh.
It's chocolate. You know, it's like what are you doing?
Who even cares either way? I
know.
actually don't like anthropomorphized food items.
Yeah,
Right?
I've
Like,
never
you go to the
understood
movies and you watch those like popcorn kernels that are like boldly going forth to explore the world, and you know they're just going into a bucket to get eaten. Like, that's just creepy and wrong.
I always thought the cinnamon toast crunch things were creepy because they're eating each other before you eat them.
Right?
So they're literally cannibalizing each other because they
Yeah.
know they taste good.
Yeah.
Did you ever see on Nickelodeon, they had this show called Turkey Television, and there was a segment on it called A Day in the Life of a Food. And it showed this guy eating various things, and there were voice actors just off camera that would be the voice of the food as they're getting eaten.
I like how they dealt with that in Muppets Christmas Carol, where Rizzo the rat is like offered a platter of grapes and he's like, no thanks. My mom always told me not to eat singing food.
Well, I'll say that Food Wars, or was it Food Wars? What was it? What was the Seth Rogen food sausage party? That was it. That made sense. Once they realize that they're being eaten and cut up, they freak out and then they start going off on people. That made sense to me. Or did I just kill the conversation by saying that?
No. I'm actually knitting, but I'm on a row where I actually have to count what I'm doing. So I'm periodically quiet when I'm going through like a section where I'm counting.
Sorry, I was reading a text message.
Oh, you got another fucking text message?
We're
Yeah.
just
On your
multitasking.
message. Sorry.
We're echoing with somebody. Like I can hear our voices repeating.
Yeah, it's probably.
I don't hear any echoes, but so it might be me.
Sorry, somebody. Nope, it's not you, Elihu.
I had to check.
Nope, it's all good. It could be. I don't know if it's me. Could it be me? I don't think so.
Nope, it was Mike. You got your phone again. Your device is close together.
Oh, that could be it.
It's not on. I'm not even on.
I don't know.
Sorry, it's not on. I wasn't even on StreamYards on the phone. There's no way it could be echoing on there.
It's not very loud, so it's okay.
Maybe let me go to the settings. Oh, you know what? Because I'm using Mozilla, it doesn't have the echo cancellation.
Have you tried Firefox? I find Firefox works well.
That's Mozilla. Firefox is.
Oh, right, yeah. Oh, really? Doesn't. Oh.
Yeah,
I have trouble with Mozilla. I usually find that works fine. Maybe because I think my Mac actually does that for me. Like it doesn't require the.
Okay, because before when I was using Chrome, I kept having that 3-second delay.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm using Mozilla right now.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no delay, but apparently there's certain things incompatible with StreamYards using it, and that includes the echo cancellation, the noise cancellation. It's harder to share items. I don't think I can share anything.
Gotcha.
But
now it's getting loud.
Plus, for some reason, Mozilla's not recognizing my microphone. I was talking with Elihu earlier about it. My big or my nice professional microphone, you know,
Yeah.
It's not recognizing it.
Mozilla's like that microphone's too nice. I gotta ignore it.
It's literally It's literally using my 10-year-old webcam microphone, and it's not even using my laptop's microphone.
That's why I have headphones and a built-in mic in my headphone.
Well, I've got those too, but I'm not going to use them right now.
Oh, I got 3 different Bluetooths as well.
Although we could see, because I think the microphone on my Bluetooth suck.
I don't know why I have 3 Bluetooth headphone sets. I don't know why. Shit.
Should I keep buying them?
I see 2 right now. No one's in my drawer, so like shit.
Let's see.
Are we supposed to be the something for our little title on this one?
Sorry.
Well, you're the vile one, and Eli, who's the weird one. I'm just wondering if I should be the something one.
You're the ginger cabal head.
No, you can use whatever you want.
You're the Canadian one.
I have, and will continue to do so.
You're the nature.
All right, NB, since you're finally here, as I was telling
You're the
Elihu
nature. Hold on.
and everyone else,
Baby lion, she's the nature one.
Dude, your
I
voice
can't
is very
hear you.
low. Your
You're
voice,
really low.
you lost your voice again, man.
I've kind of had a hell of a week. Okay, let me just kind of play this out for you. And this is
Ready.
let me actually get this out there so you guys get an idea. Christmas Day came around, found out my father after 3 years is alive. The next day, found out a good friend of mine overdosed fatally, left 2 kids behind. So I had to contact the stepfather and find out how the kids were doing over there. Got a protection order, where my neighbor filed a protection order against me because his dogs kept getting my fucking property. I called the cops. He got pissy about it, and I told him that if he's like, where do you get off coming on my property? I'm like, your dogs came on my property. I walked in your property. He's like, yeah, I have a mailbox. I was like, so I did this intentionally. And I fully admit I did it intentionally. I wrote a letter. I walked straight over there with his 3 fucking dogs barking and nudging at me. I knew I could possibly be bad. I slammed that and I put that fucking letter on his door. And I did that on purpose. He decided to call me and literally talk to me in ways where I commented back. Dude, if I wanted to be talked to like that, I could call my ex-wife. And he decided to, and I told him, I was like, hey, I told him in a text, and I told him, he's like, stay on my property. I was like, dude, I'm just going to let you know, if this goes into a scrap, we can meet out in the gravel road. My bail money's good. My lawyer fund is good. And I don't care if I win or lose the fucking fight. I've already won. So that's been my week. So yeah, little stressful.
Hi, Bob.
Hi, Bob. I have not seen this. Eli, who I have
Sorry to hear about your was it your dad you said had passed?
No, his friend
No.
OD'd.
His friend, okay.
Yeah.
No, I found out my dad was alive. No,
Oh, he was alive.
No, I found out my dad is now alive. He called me.
Okay, good.
So we had that conversation. I did not give him shit on Christmas Day. I did give him shit the day after Christmas. And I will give my father credit. When I talked to him the other day, he had to get something off his chest. I don't regret kicking him out of my house. I will say this. I never thought about how it affected him. Give that a thought. That's why he hasn't contacted me in 3 years. And I never gave it a second thought. I honestly, no, I never even thought about it. I never thought about how it made him feel.
Well, I don't know the circumstances, so you may have been justified regardless of how it made him feel.
Well, I was justified in it, but I never took into account afterwards, before we lost contact, how it impacted him. I mean, you got to understand, I kicked him out on the streets, literally. I kicked my father out on the streets.
Yeah. Well, we had to do that with my dad a few times, so shit happens.
I know. I know. It's like I never took that into consideration, so I understand. He's still wrong.
I almost feel jealous. Sorry, my dad made a bunch of mistakes late in life, and I wish I could have had the opportunity to throw him out on his ass for some of the stuff he pulled off.
Well, we reconciled with him later in my dad's case, so.
Oh, I knew I'd reconcile with my father. I mean, I here's the thing. When it comes to me and my family, we are just that side of the family. You can either accept everybody who they are, or you can hate them. And I've seen enough of what the hate did to most of my family.
My father died over 20 years ago, so
I think my dad died about, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago now.
he was old.
Mine was just sick. Like, he got sick.
Sorry if I brought the vibe down, but I've had
No, that's okay. We were just talking about various TV shows and commercials. So,
Yeah,
that's why I was not actually on here yet. That's why I hadn't come in yet. I was finishing the last episode of Stargate SG-1, Season 8, the Mobius one. So I was like,
that show in such a long time.
well, it is a really great, well, as I've said several times, I was like, this is my third time going through it. And I'm like, I really, I'm done with the season now. I'm ready. I want Atlantis. The last two after every, I think we were talking about this once. It's like all the stuff we had the last 8 seasons.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Hey, I'm talking about him, and he just leaves.
you just want to see early Moma, don't you?
I was gonna say, I think that Stargate may have been one of the last shows I actually watched on television, like, when it aired.
I can tell you the exact last show I watched live on air on a regular basis, and then I dropped cable after that, or satellite. I can tell you hands down, it was Sons of Anarchy.
Never seen
I
it.
said flat out.
That was more recent than me. I think it's been close to 20 years now that I haven't had TV or watched TV. It's got to be getting on. It's got to be at least 15 years that I haven't had TV.
When Sons of Anarchy was just a show that was like the last show, I was like, we had moved the cable stuff out of our kids' rooms. Nobody was interested in it. We were getting into the streaming stuff. Okay, that's fine. But Sons of Anarchy, it was just, I've been focused on that show since its inception. And I was not leaving until that show is over. And the moment it was over, that's when I dropped my stuff. That's when I was like, nope. I was like, I got my ending. And oh God, it was so beautiful. And the funny thing is, I kept getting told, they want to say the show is based around the idea of Hamlet. Well, I've actually been able to find a way to read and understand that kind of speak. So I've actually read Hamlet. So now I want to rewatch it again, just because now I understand all the references.
What are you talking about? I just got back. Sorry, I had to get coffee.
Hamlet and Sons of Anarchy.
Oh, okay.
What I said was Sons of Anarchy, and it was always said that it was done in the way of Hamlet. Well, I've never been able to read Shakespeare. Well, I've now been able to read and understand and comprehend some Shakespeare plays. And I read Hamlet, and I loved it. I loved Macbeth. Honestly, I loved them both. I thought they were amazing. And now I got why people have such a passion for, Shakespeare. And I was like, okay.
King Lear. King Lear's amazing. Read King Lear.
Taming of the Shrew.
I was actually, okay.
Midsummer's Night Dream.
Okay.
That's my favorite by far. But of course, I'm a little bit being Scottish.
I played Puck in high school.
Yeah, Macbeth. Oh my goodness, Macbeth was amazing, but Hamlet was also equally amazing to read. And once I read it, and then I'm like, I got to go. I'm actually going to read Hamlet before I watch Sons of Anarchy again, because I want to make sure I get everybody right.
Well, NB, a few years ago, or many years ago, before my mom passed, we actually scored tickets to go see Two Gentlemen of Verona. Sorry?
You were echoing.
Oh, sorry. But I got to see Two Gentlemen of Verona at the Old Globe Replica Theater in San Diego.
Nice.
And if you haven't seen that play, it's another Shakespeare play, but I definitely recommend it.
Well,
I'm
it was
used-
nice.
I'm
It was nice to get to watch the. It was nice after I read. I watched the Hamlet movie. I'm talking the old black and white, the original, the OG one. And I was able to understand and comprehend everything. I was just like, this is, dude, Shakespeare used to be out of my reach. I thought this was like, I felt like such an idiot because it was like, I could not understand it. And everybody I tried to talk to about it was so smug. Like, you just don't get it. You just don't understand. It's like, help me out. I want to.
I completely get you. When my school did Romeo and Juliet, despite the fact that we'd already covered it in my English class, by the time my drama club was actually doing the play, I had to have one of my other English teachers explain to me some of the jokes Mercutio makes, because that's the role I had, because I didn't understand how they were funny.
One-liners. That's what the part is. He's a one-liner.
But I didn't understand them because of the language used at the time.
Oh.
Well, exactly. And that was the thing. I always tried to explain. It's like, I don't understand this. I don't know how to understand the language. All I was ever asking for was someone to help me understand it. And I always got this, this elitist smug thing from the people who could understand. Like, oh, well, you just can't figure it out. You shouldn't even be on. Basically, I was made to feel like shit because
If you understand synonyms, you can understand Shakespeare. I know you understand synonyms.
Well, the problem is, Elihu, the language is not even used the way it is nowadays.
Yeah. 20
Let's
years
just
ago, it was easier.
common, most well-known phrases from Shakespeare. Oh Romeo, wherefore art thou Romeo? What the hell does that actually mean? It means
Why are you a Romeo? Not where are you a Romeo? It's like, why are you?
She's asking basically, why are you a Capulet or a whatever one he is? I can't remember at the time.
Montague.
Because
what about the fact that when he said, what about one of Hamlet's famous lines? To be or not to be. He's contemplating. The whole point he does not kill himself is because it is, in his belief, a mortal sin. But he wants to die.
Mm-hmm.
He wants to die. That's what he wants. He wants to die. That's it. After his father's gone, he either wants revenge. He wants his revenge and everything, but he wanted to die.
But he talked himself out of it in favor of revenge.
Yes, he talked himself out of it in favor of revenge. Absolutely. And then I think he pushed, I can't remember her name off the top of my head, but he pushed, what's her name, to suicide or unalive. I don't know which word is allowed.
Oh, YouTube stopped checking after about 15 minutes on a live stream.
But I mean, what was her name that he was pursuing and kind of obsessed with, and she ultimately drowns herself? I don't remember how to pronounce her name. I can
No.
see.
Ophelia.
Thank you. I mean, it was, when I was reading Hamlet and I was going through it, it's like, he wanted to die. He had a disease in him, and his disease affected the people around him. That was my impression.
I still think King Lear is one of my favorites. It's really good. You should read King Lear. I highly recommend King Lear.
I miss something I dream, dude.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a few others here. I've got okay. I'm going to say this. I don't care if this pisses people off. This is finally how I understood Shakespeare.
Nice. That's great.
I'm sorry, I didn't see that. Oh, okay.
Because the first page is the original text, and then it's modernly translated. So I was able to understand it and able to go back and reread it in the old text and be able to comprehend it. This is why I can now read Shakespeare. This is why I've read this, Hamlet, and Macbeth. And I'll tell you what, I love it. I don't care if I had to use a little bit of modern stuff. At least I could have a conversation about Shakespeare plays, because dude, that was one of the biggest things that was killing me that I couldn't do, was have a conversation with people about this, because I couldn't understand it.
I find the more you read it, the more you understand it. But yeah, there's always turns of phrase. I mean, and in some sense, it was written in like the slang of the time as well.
You know, if I'm going to be honest, this
right?
is
Like people always think of it as being kind of highfalutin and what have you, but actually it was sort of like, I mean, it was like Hamilton, right? Written in rap or whatever. Or,
you know, my next,
it was kind of very much in the, you know, the vernacular.
This is the one I'm going to start reading tomorrow, because I'm going to kick the ground running and get into reading. And this is one that's been on my list, so you guys can tell me if it's good or not.
Julius Caesar, that is a good one.
This is pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
You can see the ending coming a mile away.
Well, we all know what's going to happen. Come on.
Hey, I tell you what. Okay, I tell you what. I'll give it a fair. I'll let the panel decide, and anybody in the chat pick one. Which one should I read first? Which one should I read next?
Like I said, I highly recommend King Lear.
I don't have King Lear right now, so
go get King Lear. Honestly, I would have to say I like King Lear best of all of them.
All right, well, let's do this. 1,
maybe Henry
Caesar, 2, Othello. These are 2 I really want to read. So which one should I read first, guys?
Othello.
Yeah, probably Othello. So
Julius Caesar 1, Othello 2. Take your pick, because you know what? I'll let you guys decide. I'm all for democracy.
Othello.
I would probably recommend Othello as well.
Yeah.
I mean, both are good. We did Julius Caesar in school.
Yeah, we did Julius Caesar too. We didn't do Othello. I read Othello on my own later on.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, by the way, Elijah, I do have Juliet and A Midsummer's Night Dream over here as well.
Mm-hmm. Okay, then read Midsummer's Night Dream.
Reverend wants to know if you're okay, and B, you sound attacked.
Well, after the stress of my week, and Potato Reverend, just click back to when I showed up, and you'll understand why I'm hoarse right now. It's actually
he's not hoarse. He's a jackass. Come on, get it right. Sheesh.
I was gonna make a joke, but you do it, Elihu.
That's got a fair point. I scared the shit out of my neighbor to where he had to have a protection order put against me. You know what? If I'm being honest, I found that flattering. I found it flattering that I scared the shit out of him. Just showed and proved to me that he's a weak ass bitch.
Well, at least now when his dogs are in your yard, you just need to call the police because you can't go over and return them.
I have 2 options. Now, here's the thing. Though. I've noticed the last few days since that all happened, I don't see his dogs out as much anymore.
Interesting.
What did you do? What did you not do? And somehow they're not as aggressive as they've been. Hey man, I moved out here to get away from people, and here's the problem. You know what the problem is? My wife figured it out. I knew they had a problem with us when we moved in. That's why I left them alone. No, it was all good. You know what their problem is? Because we ain't from around here.
I think the issue is you moved out there to get away from people. So did everybody else.
Hey, all I asked them to do was keep their dogs on my property.
Yep. No, yeah, no, that seems pretty reasonable.
That's too much to ask. This was the third. Okay, this is how the incident happened. This is how this incident happened, not the last one a few years ago. Their freaking Australian Shepherd got on my property because their e-fence fucking failed. I heard a dog barking. My dogs were going nuts. I thought it was maybe Gambit, my other dogs, my other neighbors, and I was like, or whatever. I was like, just let my dogs out. All of a sudden, I hear my Bernese Mountain Dog and my Australian Shepherd snarling, growling, barking very aggressively, and literally about ready to tear my fence down. I look out my window, and around here in the sticks, it's pitch black. So I had to get my flashlight out. And I was looking at the window, and I see that little fucking ankle biter. And if my dogs had broken, okay, I had to make a makeshift fence over here. I have a fence, but I had to make a makeshift part until I could get a permanent because of their fucking dogs. My dogs would run over on their property. And if my dogs had broken out of my fence, it would have been bad. Very bad. I don't know if it was for who, but both of us, both our dogs would have ended up bad. So, I pulled a move there where I did exactly what I did when I said. I walked on their property, I slapped it on their door. And yes, my wife wanted to put it in the mailbox. I said, no. I said, I'm going to put it on the door. I'm going to make sure they know I'm fucking done. And I'll take a bite.
Well, let's change the subject a little bit.
Yeah,
Before you talk about Ed, I got a Deloja.
Okay. I was going to tell you, I was on my actual birthday, I got sick. And I was sick most of the day after. So I ended up binge watching For All Mankind to the point where I'm completely caught up. I finished season 3 and I watched every episode of season 4 until like the last episode, which I watched this morning before I did the live stream.
I haven't actually caught the last episode. Because of what I've been dealing with, I haven't had time to sit down. But that's awesome, man. What do you think? What do you think so far?
I am not liking season 4 as much as season 3.
I think we can all agree season 4 is the weakest of the seasons.
Mm-hmm.
I think we can all agree on that.
Me and Ally, who were talking earlier about how definitely the Ed and Margot characters seem to be written completely off character.
I disagree with the Ed character.
And once you watch the latest episode, get back to me because Ed did something in that episode that pissed me off. Don't go back and re-listen to the stream because you'll hear what I was saying about it. He did something to piss me off personally that I'm like, I wanted to punch his character in the face for what he was doing.
Okay, I'm going to be honest with you. Do you have any idea how many times I've wanted to punch Ed from season 1? Do you have any idea? Listen, Ed's a great character. He's a coward also. He's a great character, but there are certain things he's a coward on, and he's an egotistical motherfucker.
I got a quick question.
Yes, I am an egotistical motherfucker. Oh, I'm sorry.
That wasn't the question. Okay, so you binged how many seasons of this show? Did you binge through 2 seasons, 3 seasons? Just curious. How many?
Yesterday. Okay. Friday, I watched. Let's see. About 10 episodes. Maybe 10 or 11 episodes total.
Okay. Do you ever find when you binge a bunch of shows that it starts to all blur together, and you find that you didn't even register certain episodes at all? They just
Okay,
like
Danny.
all merge together.
I had, because I was sick, I fell asleep watching some of the episodes, so I had to rewatch them. So I would,
Oh, Jeez, that's
Yeah.
man.
so yes,
Because for me, I find that I try to only do like maybe 2, maybe 3 episodes in a day if I try to catch up with something. But I just
My
too
friend has
many.
started.
Go ahead.
Oh,
Pedro.
we're talking about too many. My friend has started watching One Piece from
Potato.
episode 1.
Oh, I didn't know you up
Chai,
here, dude.
chai, it's Potato Raven.
I didn't know he was up here, dude. I recognize that voice. I was not even looking at the screen.
All right. Since you're caught up, but Mike, since you're caught up, here's something I'm thinking. I told this to who. I don't think Margot's making it out of the season alive. I don't think she's going to be able to leave the States. If she makes it out alive, they are going to have to. You cannot have the most hated traitor in America and just expect there's going to be no consequences with her being on American soil.
Because her handler was Sergei's handler. So yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. I'm just saying, I don't see her. I don't see her making off American soil. I just don't see it. And Ed, okay, here's the thing about Ed. I knew for a fact, and this season just confirmed, he was never going back. Never.
see, I didn't think. I thought he was going to go back because he wanted to see his grandson and his daughter, especially with what happened with his son.
No, he didn't want to go back even after his son. He didn't want to go back. Remember, he had to actually. What's her name? Shit. Come on, Eli, who helped me? She was president.
Ellen.
Oh, Ellen.
Yeah, Ellen had to relieve him of command, and basically, she was arguing. People died to get you back home. You're going home, and then she finally said, "I relieve you of command." She had to relieve him of command. That's the only reason why, and that's the thing. You got Ed now. The simple fact is, when Ed was on the moon, his son died. When Ed was on Mars, his ex-wife, whatever, his wife died. His wife died. Okay, that man never wants to come back to Earth again. Okay, because all Earth is a tragedy to him.
He has his family with him now.
What's the nature of this show? Like, is it in part of a series of some other sort?
It's an alternate. It's alternate history. Basically, what happens is what happens in this show is the Soviet Union lands on the moon first, and the space race doesn't end.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
basically
going on.
Dandelion, did you watch Stargate?
Yes, but I watched it when it aired, so that was a while ago.
Hola, Mrs. Cardenas.
Hold on.
Okay. Hola.
She's in the chat. How you doing, babe? She's been sitting behind me the entire time, but she just left. Okay, do you remember when the Russians got their Daedalus class ship?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, you remember what they named that ship?
Nope.
They named it the Korolev, and it was because he was the father of their modern space program. But in the 1960s, he died during a surgery. Well, in this universe, he survived that surgery and was able to correct the flaws in their N1 rocket system, which is this Russian equivalent of the Saturn V.
So this is like a standalone series. It's not connected to like any other series we've watched.
No.
Like it's not like a Stargate. It's not a Star Trek. It's not.
No.
But
It's
Man
alternate
in the
history.
Man in the High Castle type of thing.
The primary difference is that one Russian scientist survived, and because of that, the Russians made it to the moon first.
Yep, that is
and the political fallout from that happening.
Yeah, but look who created the show. Yeah,
Ronald D. Moore.
exactly. And Oh yeah, he's only done a few small things. He's only written some of the greatest stars. He
What Star
only,
Trek? Never heard of it.
yeah, I mean, he only created
TNG, Voyager, DS9,
well, he was
Picard,
in Voyager for a little.
Stargate. Yeah, I know a little Ronald D. Moore.
All right, everybody be quiet for a second. Bird?
Kapla.
Blah.
Hey, Bird.
Hello world, it's Birdo Pay 5. Kapla. Happy
Blah.
That's
New
what we were
Year.
waiting for.
Happy New Year.
The thing
Kapla,
about
bird.
Ronald D. Moore, I mean, when you look at my wife is watching this show, I think it's called Outlander, where this woman goes
Hold
back
on.
in time, and my wife was loving it, and I looked it up. It's probably not my wheelhouse, but I was like, it had Ronald D. Moore's name to it, and I'm like, oh, that's probably going to be good.
Yeah. No, my cousin was obsessed with that show.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, Ronald D. Moore. I mean, what's he done really? I mean, he only just wrote some of the best TNG episodes, some of the best DS9 episodes. Wait, there was a show. What was it called that he re-imaged and made successful? What was that one called?
Westworld.
No, I'm thinking Battlestar Galactica.
Oh.
So, question, NB, have you seen Man in the High Castle?
No, I have not. That is one I have not seen yet. I'm going to be honest with you. I have a hard time believing that one.
Yeah, but I was doing a bit of lookup, and one of the things that annoyed me is some dude randomly showed up from a third alternate timeline, and then someone else showed up from a fourth one.
Okay, look, if I want to deal with alternate timelines and stuff again, okay, look, I watched that German show Dark. My wife and I watched the 3 seasons. That third season was like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Mrs. Vile needed to take over the bedroom, so I'm back outside to smoke.
I'm going to suggest one for you, for any of you who are into alternate history, 11/22/66.
Why does that sound familiar?
It's
That's
the
an old
alternate
one.
history of the death of JFK.
Oh,
November 22nd.
That was on Hulu
Yeah,
years ago.
Ooh.
I watched it.
I'm actually going to interrupt really quickly. I'm going to head out because I want to go for a hike
Happy
today.
New Year's.
Yeah, Happy New Year, everybody. And I will.
All right, Daniel, enjoy your last hike of the
Yeah.
year.
Take
Yeah.
a hike.
Enjoy your
and,
walk.
love.
Thank you.
Take a
Okay,
hike.
bye, guys.
But one of the most interesting things in it is one of the biggest antagonists throughout that series. It's a mini series. Is time. Like time itself is acting against the main hero. So when he goes, there was one time where he picked up the phone. It's like, wait, my dad's alive. So he picks up the phone, dials it in. The phone, when it's like his dad answers, and he's like, hello, and he's like, Dad, it's me. And then the phone goes all fuzzy, and 2 seconds later, he sees the truck coming. He jumps out of the way, and the truck smashes through the phone box.
Well, my wife just got back
Never
home.
heard of
I wonder how this new church worked out for her.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, we've had an interesting thing going on here. My son is, he's found God, and his devotion is like
Was
his.
God lost? Was he lost?
No.
God lost? You said he found God, so God was lost?
Don't play with me though on this one. Look, my son found a deep faith in God. He found it on his own, and we're believers in the house. We've always believed, but we were never Bible thumpers or anything like that. It was just not us. And his just connection to God now is just amazing, and it's radiating on us, and it's just reaffirming our faith in God. And I asked him how he was reading his Bible now, because he says, I'm letting God guide me. I'm like, that's awesome. So I know some of you are not believers. Oh, hey guys, I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna check out. I want to talk to my wife. Maybe I'll come back, but she just got back. I want to kind of hear how this went.
Okay.
Okay, dude.
There you go.
Yeah, man, MB sounds like I feel.
How was
I was-
all of your Christmases?
Interesting. I screwed up a little bit.
What did you do?
Well, in order to hide my my kids' presents from them, I put them in my storage unit because they have no access to that whatsoever. Then I forgot that my storage unit is closed on Christmas, so they didn't get their presents until the day after.
Bad dad. You should call us Bad Dad Productions, man.
Well, they were still thrilled to get in their minds. It was more like, oh, we get more days of presents. So that's how they, which was.
You're like, okay,
Got
kids, for this year, just pretend we're Jewish.
We're not going to celebrate Christmas this year. We're going to celebrate Kwanzaa.
Festivus for the rest of us.
Sorry, I'm secular. I can celebrate all the holidays if I want.
I don't do Christmas. Just another day.
How's your Christmas, Bird?
It's just another day where everything's fucking closed.
Nobody
Well,
cares.
Go ahead, Bird. How was your Christmas?
Really wasn't so much a Christmas this year.
Oh man, I'm sorry.
You know,
Did nephew Apray at least swing by, or
today we didn't get to see him till yesterday and today.
well, what'd you give? What did you get the Munchkin for Christmas?
I don't know what specific. I know it was bags and bags of presents,
Toys.
various toys, fire engines, numbers, blocks with numbers, things of that nature.
Education toys. Fun. You know, I'm looking at the weather, Mike, and it looks like up here we're going to have colorful clouds tonight.
Well, I don't know the color of the sky around here right now.
The entire left-hand side of Ireland is covered in snow.
Lucky.
That would be the West, by the way.
Yeah.
Hey, Brevin, you gotta explain this to me. What is snow?
White powdery cocaine that God uses that he got from a shitty dealer, so he threw it on the ground.
I thought he was going to say this shitty actor on a show called Game of Thrones.
Sorry. Schnockta.
That was a
How does that
character, not
sound?
an actor.
Character.
Sorry, I gotta make that joke every single time because SoCal.
No, but
when a friend of mine was watching the Olympics with us, it was actually the Winter Olympics, and we were watching the downhill skiers. And USA was doing particularly bad that time. And their excuse was because they'd only lived in Southern California their entire life. Well, the USA is at a disadvantage. We don't have snow.
Have they ever heard of a movie called Cool Running? Bullshit.
me and my friend, when we went to Houston, we were standing there next to my panda's Farva, and I said, "Hey, Farva, I have a question." And he's like, "Yeah, what's up?" I said, "What's that thing in the sky?" And he looked around and like, "What?" I said, "That big round glowy thing. It hurts to look at. What is that?" "You mean the sun?" "Wow, that's what it looks like." Being like, I've only heard pray tell of this thing, never actually seen it.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's bright. It keeps us warm. Wow.
Warm, dude. I was in 105 degree Fahrenheit heat. Okay, I nearly died.
Only 105? Wow, you must have been cold. I'm sorry, I'm a desert rat. I grew up in Phoenix when
A heat wave in my country is 20 degrees Celsius. That was 44 degrees Celsius.
yeah, I know. But let me tell you this. Growing up in the desert in the 80s in Phoenix, Arizona, you had basically about 10 square miles of city. That was it. That's how small the city was back then. You can go from Mesa to Tempe, boom, that's a different city. Now it's just part of the city. With all the asphalt laying around, the heat has gotten hotter and hotter. But back then, when it was about 90 degrees, we were in a heat wave. Now with all the damn asphalt and sidewalk and all the cars and people, you get 110. Now you're in a heat wave. So try going to Phoenix for a day, man, in the
How
summer.
about no? I'll get off the plane in Phoenix, and all you'll see is just people carrying around a bag of ash with a pair of glasses in it. It's like, oh yeah, here I am.
Or try going to Vegas in the middle of summer. Okay, I did that once.
No,
No, thanks.
I'm heading back in August, and I'm going to Boston, and New York,
Whoa.
and Connecticut.
Elihu, I once did that with my family. We drove out to Vegas during the summer, and as we're driving in Vegas, we hear what sounds like sand hitting our vehicle. What we didn't realize was it was actually the windows cracking because we had the AC on full, and it was 110 degrees outside.
I remember one time I was on a train, and we heard a thud splat, and then the train grinded to a halt, and it turned out that the train, because I said to someone, this had only bloody happened in Ireland, where the train on the same track hit a goat and a cow.
Yeah, and a cow. I thought just
And
hit
a cow.
Oh my gosh! I'm used to the train hitting a cow, but a goat and a cow. Jeez.
Yeah, and I just turned around and he's like, I'm sorry, the cows be, and you could see some, like, as the train, because they got the train running again, you could see some red starting to come down the windows as the train was moving on. And we were there, and I said, and the conductor said, okay, so guys, we're moving on. You're going to get 15 euros for your ticket back because we were so delayed by 4 hours. We're so sorry for this. You're getting 15 euros back. Does anyone have any questions? And I said, can I get some of the steak that was made just there? And he went, no. Will people stop asking that?
But it's fresh.
Yeah, but I was on the front, so I got to see the front of the train. Jesus Christ, the fucking thing was fucked up.
Damn. Well, that's why in America we used to have those cow grades in the engines.
Cow
Oh, you mean
catchers.
Cow catchers, yeah.
Cow
that's
catchers,
what
you
they're
mean the separators and exploders?
called. Yeah, one of those things.
There was a lock. Now at that stretch of track, the train slows down to a crawl and then it goes up again once it gets past the gate. But underneath the funny thing is, it's like it says, please lock the gate behind you when you leave. And someone wrote underneath in Sharpie, no.
Nice. I need more coffee. Be right back. I can't
Hey,
hear you when I get coffee.
Hey, Vile, did you hear that they found a Roman retirement book? They found, you know, the Roman legionaries. They found a retirement book from a general that was dropped in a bog somewhere, and it was preserved perfectly. So now they're like, this guy had lost all the benefits of like 30 to 40 years in military service because he couldn't get another one. You're meant to carry this on you at all times.
Carry
Okay.
what? Carry what?
I have little sympathy for a Roman legionary who lived 1,000, 2,000 years ago.
Oh no, I just think it's funny. I saw it. It's actually fucking really cool.
And sorry, I had to mute myself because there was an airplane going over.
Ah. You know what you should do? You get a big, huge poster, put it on your roof of like gay sex, and then the plane will be forced to divert route.
the problem is I'm not at my house. I'm at Mrs. Vile's house, which is in Tijuana, Mexico.
Ah. How is Mexico?
Rainy right now.
Is the rain at least warm?
No.
No, it's cold rain here.
That's a joke about Ireland. It's how do you know it's summertime? The rain gets warm. None worse than when you're walking out. You guys will all understand this. In the rain, and suddenly a drop of rain hits you in your eye behind your glasses. It's like
I hate that.
it's like fucking thanks for the target practice, dicks.
Yeah, that's why I wear a ball cap when it rains.
So Vile, you going to miss the Cadbury Kinder eggs when you're gone?
Mrs. Vile actually got me one, and I'll probably record a video. I haven't posted anything in a while regarding them because I've just been lazy, but I've got like 4 or 5 videos ready to go. Plus, I opened last week's live stream.
Yeah, no, I mean when you go back home to America.
I don't bring them. I open the eggs before I bring them across.
No, when I say that's what I say. When you do go, will you miss them? Because of that stupid law where it's like you can't bring them because they have a toy inside. We got the American ones over here, and they were wildly unpopular.
Yeah, they're like $2 here.
I did. Told Mrs. Vile about that she might want to try for the American version. And I'm going to see if I can. I haven't told her yet, but I was going to see if I can get her to do a video with them because she hates being on camera. They have Harry Potter ones. She loves Harry.
No, Kinder eggs. You're not supposed to know what the toy is. That's the whole point.
Well, you don't know which toy you're going to get. You just know that it's Harry Potter related.
They literally put it on the box which toys are inside.
No, they don't.
Oh, they do over here.
Well, even in Mexico, they have ones that are like, it's going to be Minions. It's going to be a boy's toy. It's going to be a toy. It's going to be a Hot Wheels toy. Same thing.
Yeah, no, I mean, which one you can get, like not the exact one that's inside.
Yeah, just the theme.
Yeah.
One of the ones. Funny? And last time, that was a little fairy princess ring thing I showed on the last live stream. It was actually pretty cool. I thought, it was a little ring that transforms into a fairy princess.
Have you had Kinder Bueno yet?
No, I haven't. I'm not interested.
No, yes, you'd be interested. It's fucking amazing.
What is Kinder Bueno?
Go ahead, Revan.
It's a wafer with white chocolate, and it also tastes heavy coconut. It is fucking amazing.
White chocolate is not chocolate.
The problem with them, Revan, is I'm a very cheap son of a bitch, and I can't fathom spending $3 on a 2-ounce.
I'm sorry, it's $1.75 over here.
Yeah, it's about $3 here.
Shouldn't talk about your mom like that.
And $3 is a bit more than I want to spend on a friggin' candy bar. I even do you guys know who Mr. Beast is?
Yes.
I heard of him.
Have you seen candy bars everywhere?
I've heard of it.
The $4 candy bars at Target? Yeah, I've seen them.
Yeah, my son was like, "Oh, I want one of these because it's Mr. Beast." And I'm like, "It's the same thing as a Hershey bar. We're not spending $4 on a frickin' thing. Let's get it. I'll get you 2 Hershey bars for less than the same price, and it's more than 3 times the amount of chocolate."
It might be worth getting just for the posterity.
And I'm like, sorry, I don't give a shit that much about Mr. Beast.
Now, I buy a 3-pack of chocolate at Trader Joe's for $1.59. Okay, that's more than it's about 4 candy bars.
We have a crisp company. Sorry, a potato chip company
I know
over
what
here
is.
called Tato's. And they're like, "Hey guys, we're branching off and we're going to start making chocolate bars, but our chocolate bars have crisps inside it, right?" Here's the thing: you see people opening it up and trying it, like they're like, "Oh God," just bites into it. They were spitting it out on the ground. The crisps tasted stale because it turned out that the crisps, while coated in the chocolates, Still went stale.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We've
there was an
got,
experimental candy bar here with the I think it was Nestle tried it with the potato chips mixed with the chocolates.
I tried it. It was way too salty.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got those here, and they have a different shelf life than the regular candy bars, and so
Yeah, they no
it's-
longer make them here, and I wonder why.
Yeah. I thought they'd put like alcohol in them or something. Ireland.
I'll take your word for it, man. There's certain candy bars.
Actually,
that I cannot
only
eat.
special stores can sell the bars with the alcohol in them.
Grocery stores?
No. Well, yeah, but they have to be on the alcohol oil.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I definitely need to pick up another bottle of scotch. It's not Irish, but I need some scotch again.
Maybe I have a bottle of wine.
So, are any of you familiar with the whiskey fire of Dublin in the 1800s?
Not terribly, no.
That was on Final Jeopardy last night, man.
Was it?
No.
Oh, I don't know. I don't fucking have Final Jeopardy. I'm not old. So they had, the big, huge distilleries that to hold the whiskey in, the old ones, big, huge wooden, from the 1800s. They had one of those and it burst, flooding the street, like 2 streets in Dublin. Now, 13 people died from alcohol poisoning because this alcohol burst into flames. And they drank the flaming.
Alcoholics want to do.
Yeah, and they drank the flaming whiskey, and that was there, causing 13 people to die of alcohol poisoning.
Damn.
Boy.
But here's the funniest part: the butchers burst into flames, burning cows, goats, and some pigs, right? And whiskey curing them. Now, when the owner of after the whiskey was like gone from the streets and was safe to return, he went back to like his butchers to get his animals, and they were gone. Now,
I'm shocked. I'm saying.
hold on, it gets better. At the site of the butchers, in front of where the distillery was that exploded, what do you think they put there as a memorial? What is there now?
A broken bottle?
A whiskey museum. Are there still players on Guild Wars 1?
Sorry, say that again?
No, Darren, are there still players on Guild Wars 1? Because I'm surprised that they're on Guild Wars.
Yeah, there are a lot of people still playing Guild Wars 2. I don't know about Guild Wars 1. There might be just people that, but I'm sure that game is on maintenance mode.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Is that Guild? What are you playing? That looks like Guild Wars.
This is World of Warcraft Dragonflight.
Ah, okay.
The reason why that may look a lot like Guild Wars is because Blizzard stole the active flight mounting system from Guild Wars 2 and incorporated it into their game. So when you fly special dragons, you have direct control over the dragon, and you have to obey, weight and velocity physics and all kinds of stuff. But, yeah.
So,
Well, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was just gonna say no, because after the stream, since I have the day off, I'm gonna be playing Mass Effect 2 later on. I've been trying to replay that for a while.
I've gotten really into Genshin Impact.
I was thinking about getting Star Wars Battlefront and Battlefront 2. They're on sale on the PlayStation for $4.
A good game you guys should try if you haven't is Baldur's Gate 3.
I'll wait till it's cheaper.
I'm not buying anything until at least June.
Well, the Star Wars is on sale till the 5th. I'm like,
nobody gives a shit. Shut up.
Yeah, but can you guys still hear me, or did my connection just go that bad?
No, we hear you.
What, Mike?
Okay. Thank you. Which Star Wars Battlefront are they talking about? They're talking about the originals or the remake?
Star Wars Battlefront and Battlefront 2.
Again, the originals or the remakes?
Let me show you.
Because if it's the originals, I have those on Xbox.
With that price, I'd say it's the originals. That's what they usually go for on PlayStation.
This. Oh, what the hell? I don't have the picture.
Oh, shit.
Okay, it's definitely the remakes.
Yeah. You can tell because that bitch is there.
They also got Battlefront 1 as well.
Yeah, but those are the remakes of Star Wars Battlefront and Battlefront 2.
Okay. It's $4. I'm like, huh.
If I wasn't on Mozilla, I'd show you the screenshots of what the original Battlefronts looked like.
I wasn't
Here.
on this shitty.
Oh, here's
I
this
wasn't
one.
on this shitty browser. I'd show it to you.
Well, I have to be on this browser so there's no lag. I was tired of the 3-second delay.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember you saying that. Yeah. It's,
Okay,
Yes.
yeah, I can't tell if that's the original or not from just that
No,
screenshot.
that's the no. That's the cover of the new one.
That is?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, it's $4. I'm like, huh, cheap. Something.
The
something-
original
oh, yeah.
Battlefront had stormtroopers in it.
Which one should I get? This one or 2?
I'd get that one then too because one carries into the other.
Okay, I'll get this one first then.
Or just get
And-
both and play them in sequential order.
I mean, I already beat the Arkham Knight, so I'm like, I'm looking for another game.
Try Gotham Knights.
That one is $9. I looked. It's on sale still.
yeah.
I haven't played Gotham Knights, but I've played all the other ones, including the shoot. Which is the one that wasn't made by Rocksteady?
Telltale.
No, not
Oh,
Telltale.
no. Episode 1 sucked.
Rockstar.
No, it was. I think it was. It was the prequel to Arkham Asylum.
Arkham City?
No, Arkham City is the sequel.
Sorry. Return to Arkham?
Maybe Arkham
Oh.
Origins, maybe.
Yeah, that sounds pretty coolish.
Yeah, Arkham Origins. That's the one I was looking for.
Okay, I haven't played that one.
Yeah, it's not as good, but I still enjoyed it. Part of the whole thing is like why the Joker becomes obsessed with Batman.
Mhm. Yeah, that's information that should be gleaned from a comic book, not a game. But whatever.
Well, remember the comic book and the game, are two different universes. So that's why it's
Yeah.
like in this universe, this is why he falls in
Sure.
love with Batman.
Yeah.
Is he literally in love with Batman,
people
or
even
what's
know
going
that?
on with it in that universe?
I've always considered Joker to be in love with Batman, not Bruce Wayne, Batman.
Hmm. In a lot of comics, whenever Batman dies, the Joker gets cured.
Or he goes into a
Yeah.
manic depressive state.
Yeah, that's a socio-political statement about where Batman's villains come from. That's one of the reasons why I liked Gotham so much, was because it established that the villains were already kind of there before, and they didn't show up just because Batman started
Yeah.
showing up. But other writers not so much. It's an example of projecting.
I might have to go back and watch Gotham. I stopped watching it like at season 2 or 3, mostly because the writing started to fall off for me. But
yeah, I only saw the first season. Yeah, I only saw the first season. So I mean,
the end of it pissed a load of people off.
Yeah, I hated that ending.
I think
finally got to see Batman for 2 fucking seconds.
It was a shadow of Batman. It wasn't Batman, okay?
No, we saw him in the suit talking to Catwoman.
Yeah, I liked the Jada Pinkett Smith character, the Fish Mooney, which was not from the comics.
I did like her character.
That was a creation of the show, and it was so well received that DC, I believe, is going to start incorporating her into the comics mythos.
Like Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like Harley Quinn, like Livewire. Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, people are like,
they tend to do those canon immigrants.
Well, they, a lot of people don't know this, but Jimmy Olsen, Perry White, and the Daily Planet, they didn't come from the comic; they came from the radio show.
Yep.
So I mean, so comics have done this for a long time, and whenever they get a multimedia hit,
it's because of the reason why Superman can fly. It's because of the early cartoon serial, because it was cheaper to make him fly than constantly having
the Fleischer. Yeah, the Fleischer cartoons just out and out flying. Yeah, it was.
That trope is called canon immigrant or canon foreigner. Basically, it's when someone from outside the normal canon is brought into the regular canon because of their popularity.
Yeah, another great example on the Marvel side was Firestar in the 80s. She was a creation of the cartoon Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends, and they brought her in.
And they originally created her just because they couldn't get the rights to Johnny Storm.
Sure, they created Deadpool as a joke on Wade Wilson.
They created it. Slade was Wilson. He was a parody of the DC character. Which is funny because wasn't Deathstroke a parody of what's his name? The Terminator? Deathlock?
The Terminator? No. Deathstroke the Terminator was the original character. Deathlock came out later
Oh, I thought it was the other way around.
No.
Do you know why Power Girl do you know why Power Girl has such large breasts?
Well, there's a bunch of stories, including one of them saying that one guy just drew them bigger every issue until he was told to stop.
I heard. Yeah.
But I've heard a bunch of different reasons.
What character?
Because I heard
Power
Girl.
Oh, Power Girl, yeah.
But I've heard the same story with regular Supergirl. I heard the same story with Wonder Woman at one point. So I don't know how true that story is if it's been applied to numerous DC characters. And I'm out of coffee. That's why I'm switching to soda.
So tell me, how's the, as the Americans call it, fancy Coke?
Oh, you're talking about this?
Yes. No. The non-American Coca-Cola. Americans refer to it as fancy Coke.
I haven't had a Coca-Cola in a while.
I hate to burst your bubble, but I tend to get their no sugar one, so it doesn't count.
The black label?
Yeah.
Coke Zero?
Sin Azúcar, they call it here.
Black Coke is coffee and Coke. No.
Yeah, I actually like that stuff.
No, that's actually Coke caffeine. That's coffee Coke. We call it out over here. But no, the black one is called Coke Zero. That's actually my favorite.
Yeah.
I prefer
Coke Zero. Sin Azúcar is essentially their Coke Zero, but it's slightly different.
I haven't had cola in months, so
it's made with cane sugar, isn't it?
No, it's made with this. Doesn't have any sugar at all.
No, sorry.
Whereas Coke Zero, the whole Sin Azúcar means no sugar.
Yeah.
But Coke Zero uses different artificial sweeteners in a for their formula than Sin Azúcar technically does.
Mexican
Okay.
Coke has cane sugar in it. American
Right.
Coke has fake sugar in it.
Yeah, high fructose corn syrup. But
Yeah.
It's
it's funny.
it's all sugar.
It's funny that no, there's big differences. But the thing is that the American Coke used to be what Mexican Coke was back when American Coke used cane sugar. Then about the late '70s is when they had to change it, and it has to have a harder form of carbonation with syrup, with corn syrup, because it's syrup. You got to get it. You got to keep it in a liquid state, and that's why Mexican Coke looks like it's flat until you drink it or pour it. Then you can see that it is still carbonated, but the bubbles are so much smaller.
Yeah.
I like that a lot better.
Your chocolate also tastes like dirt.
Yes,
And
it does.
sick.
Hershey's tastes like crap.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of American chocolate anymore. So
They've been.
I'll agree with you there.
In order to keep costs down, they've been adding a lot of fillers to it, and I'll just bypass chocolate entirely. Screw it.
No, I rather get chocolate Trader Joe's.
Or if I want to get chocolate, I'll get the expensive foreign stuff.
Yeah.
Or as I just call it, regular stuff.
But yeah, which yeah.
Yeah, it's really sad when my little Kinder eggs have more actual chocolate in them than a Hershey bar.
Then there's people that make their own chocolate, which I've actually thought about doing. But being my own little Willy Wonka thing.
I got asked by my cousin by two separate cousins when I'm going over to bring them chocolate, and I said, "How much?" He's like, "I don't know. How much can a plane carry?" Like, dude, I only get 23 kgs of carrying weight. They're like, "Oh, fine, brilliant." I'm like, "No."
Okay, what you need to do, Revan, is get 2 suitcases. One for chocolate that you just pack full of chocolate, and the second suitcase is for more chocolate that you pack in there.
And your carry-on backpack is full of chocolates.
But what am I meant to wear when I get to America? Not just chocolate.
You wear multiple layers of clothing during checkout when you go to the TSA. That way you wear in your luggage, your suitcase, and you just put it in a plastic bag from one of the stores. You spend a quarter at one of the stores, get a plastic bag, take all your clothes off, put it in a plastic bag, and there. You can take that on the plane.
Oh God.
Yeah,
I got fucking swabbed for drugs when I was in America. I don't know why. Like, they went up and Voyle, did you ever get this? Did they ever swab under your nose?
Wow.
No, but to be fair, after talking to you for 5 minutes, I would want to make sure you weren't on any drugs too. So,
no, they swabbed the end of my crotches. Then they swabbed my hands, my nose, and And then
can you say that? Can you say that one more time? Because it sounded like they swabbed underneath your crotches.
Yeah,
like, you have 2 of them.
Oh, wow. Well, the armpit could be considered a crotch.
Dude, I don't use the armpit ones, man.
Potato, did you go through that machine where you had to stand, put your arms up above your head?
Yeah, I protested against it. I'm on crutches.
Well, I had to do that one time, and I did get swabbed, and the guy looked at the other, his coworker was like, "That's just weed, THC." Like, oh, okay.
Oh,
like,
I don't
wow,
do any. I don't do any of that.
I didn't know the machine's that sensitive to detect THC. The machine sent something. Is like, oh, just weed, THC. Like, oh, okay.
No,
yeah, I supposed to got in line, man.
According to TSA, I walked through like my crutches. One of the stoppers on the crutches along the way had basically hit into like a cigarette butt. I have to not say what we call it over here.
I
know, but I don't want to get Voile's channel hit. But I'm just saying.
He means fag.
It's a vernacular.
Yep, he does.
It's like Revan. No one's gonna think my channel is that type of channel because at least one of the vile children is gay, so I don't care.
So you stepped on a fag butt.
The algorithm, dude.
You stepped on a fag butt. Get over it. We know.
So anyway, I was there, and they said essentially I'd walked through or walked over like a fag butt, and I'm like, hey, can I go now? No, get this. when you're going through TSA, like you have to get things scanned, and they're like, right, put your crutches should it get scanned. Okay.
Yeah.
Now walk over there, and I'm like, I literally turned around to her and I'm like, do you see the problem with this? And she's like, what do you mean? My crutches are over there getting scanned. I have to walk over there. Do you see the issue?
Wait, how come they didn't do the optional pat down, man? They're supposed to do that if I'm disabled. You're not supposed to go to that machine.
No, 2 different airports.
Oh, because they always ask me, it's like, optional pat down machine. It's like, take the pat down. I hate that machine. I hate getting buzzed for THC every single fucking time.
No, Houston did the pat down. Chicago did the machine.
I'd rather just do the pat down. Like, back of the hand. Okay, you're clear. Thank you.
Well, in my experience, the Texas airports suck. So that might have been part of the issue.
No, my experience was the Chicago airport sucked.
No, when I was at the Dallas Fort Worth airport,
yeah,
I had 4 flights canceled.
Oh, Dallas Fort Worth is a shithole.
No,
Yes.
Seattle is bad. I stepped outside to smoke a cigarette and go back to TSA. They made me.
Every airport is like that now. Elihu, every airport is like that now.
No, they made me go to the machine and a pat down.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the hell's going on with Seattle? Never had to do a pat down before and a machine.
Elihu, I had to get pat down and gone through the machine every time I went out to smoke at Dallas Fort Worth. Every time one of my planes got canceled.
I never had to.
I was getting stressed out, so I went out to smoke, and I'd have to come back, and they did the whole rigmarole again.
No, I'm used to the pat down. That's it.
I struggled to get backwards through the Irish airport. I was asking for the people who come to help you, like drive you around in a little car thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was asking for them. Yeah, I was asking for someone to help me because my ankle was swelling, my leg was shaking, I was in a bad way. And I waited there for half an hour and nobody fucking came. And I just said, you know what, fuck it. And I ended up one step at a time making my way through.
The easiest airport I've ever been to was Anchorage. I checked my bags, walked in the mail detector, guy goes, okay. Like, wow, 5 whole minutes.
You ever been through Logan?
No, I have never been through Logan, JFK, or LaGuardia.
I went through LaGuardia once, but I don't really remember it too much.
Sorry, I went through JFK once. Sorry. That was a long time ago. Sorry.
Yeah, I went through LaGuardia once when I was in New York City for just basically a long weekend. But I don't really remember it being that bad. But of course, I basically came with what the clothes on my back and a single bag, carry-on bag.
Yeah.
Not even a full-size carry-on bag. It was the size of my computer bag.
They asked me when I was coming back to Irish security, they said to me, what are you doing here? And I said, living here? How long have we been living here? And I'm like, all my life. And they're like, what? And they looked at it and I said, look in your hand, man. And it was an Irish passport. And I'm like, with an Irish name. And I'm like, yeah. Note the accent.
Well, one of the things that was funny, because I go across the American-Mexican border all the time, occasionally I'll get an asshole that wants to grill me on, whether or not I'm an actual American citizen or not. And he'll ask every question that they have, because they have my ID and they can scan it and see all my history and everything. They'll be like, okay, so where were you born? Well, San Diego. Where specifically in San Diego? Well, I was born at Palomar Hospital in Escondido. I don't remember exactly what room it was, but I can look at my birth certificate and give you the doctor's name if you really want. If it helps, I can give you my social security number, my brother's social security number, my father's social security number, and my father's rank in the military. Master Chief, thank you. And you're like, okay, well, where do you currently live and what were your last 7 addresses? I'm like,
sir,
really?
7?
Seriously? Wow.
Last 7. Okay, well, I lived at then I moved back to then I went back to then I lived and I'm like, and finally, I don't remember the exact address of where I was born at, but I know it was on Rosefern Lane.
No, you
I literally gave him everything.
You should be a dick and turn around and go, well, San Quentin maximum security. Then it was in minimum security for a while.
I had when I actually had my car searched a few weeks back, and the guy was just decided to go through almost everything in the back of my van. And I've got a lot of stuff in my van because I use it, for my business. I use it for my day job. I had I had packages ready to be shipped that were just missing the label. But the guy decides to open all these packages to look inside to see what's inside of each of these packages. Yep. And I'm like, look, that's a VHS tape that someone purchased on eBay. That's a stuffed animal that someone purchased on eBay. That's a Wii U game that someone purchased on eBay. And he's opening every single one and looking inside to verify. Then he comes to something that I had in my car at the time because I thought I was going to be able to actually finally give it to him. The year my mom died, which was about 8 years ago at this point, I got a framed picture of my brother and my mom together. It was the last picture of them together before my mom died. I wrapped it up, and it's literally been, left with me for the last 8 years that I haven't unwrapped because I wanted to give it to him at some point. And he finds that present in one of the boxes, and he goes, well, what's this? And I told him the same exact story I just told you. I said, look, that is a wrapped present for my brother who's currently in prison. It's the last picture of him and my mother together before she died. And he looks at me, and it's the final thing. And I'm like, are you really going to open it, dude? And he looks at it and goes, fine, I won't open this one. But he was this close to opening something that I've left unopened for 8 years. And I've been trying to get it to my brother. Finally, he's out of rehab. I ran into him actually, shockingly, this week. But I didn't actually have the present on me at the time. So I have to try to track him down again and give it to him.
I got I ordered a dog dematting spray on Amazon, and I also ordered an inflatable dog collar on Amazon for home grooming purposes. And it came with a note in a plastic bag. And the note had like the Irish version of TSA going around the plastic bag. And the bottle was crushed and the pillow was covered in chemicals. And I'm like, I can't take this.
Amazon I've noticed a lot of uptick in their shitty shipping and handling. Rock Solid did a post on Twitter about some stuff and he made a video about it too, about some stuff that arrived damaged. And I was telling him a story. My roommate bought some stuff off Amazon, one of those ugly sweaters for a Christmas party this year. The box corner had been torn open.
Yep.
And the damage was so bad that part of the sweater was hanging outside of that damaged corner and had been dragged along the ground to the point where the sweater itself now had a massive hole in it. And I'm like, not only that, something purple had been spilled on the top of the box as well. We don't know if it was wine or if it was grape juice. But I'm like, how does this happen? I ship stuff all the fucking time, and I don't get stuff nearly that damaged.
Well, you see, what they suggest us doing now is asking for them to stick the word fragile on the box.
Oh, yeah, that helps.
Yeah. I ordered a mini fridge, and the corner, thankfully, the mini fridge is undamaged, and but the corner of the box was cut off. And the box looked like was wrinkled.
Don't get me wrong. I use the USPS, and they have their issues. I'd say out of 100 shippings, they've lost one or two items. but at least if it's valuable enough item, it has insurance on it, so I'll get the
Yeah.
insurance money, or I'll split it with the person who purchased the item originally. FedEx, UPS, Amazon, none of that. They just do, it'll be free returns. But then, of course, if you know anything about how they do the returns, they just throw it in the trash.
Yeah, I'm waiting for €20 back now for the last month. I'm not going to see that, am I?
Probably not.
No.
I make sure to give people refunds. Like my son, a couple of weeks back, someone bought European Vacation off me on VHS. But my son decided to throw it down the stairs and damaged it right as I was getting ready to ship it. So I had to tell him, look, this is what happened. Here's a photo of it. It's now damaged. If you want a refund, it's all yours. And I'll, even refund the shipping, even though I haven't shipped it yet. And they're like, okay, fine. And I gave them the refund right away. It was nice, quick, easy. They were understanding. But you see that you don't get that type of stuff on Amazon. I'm sorry.
Nope. And the thing about My Bloody City is they're after closing down most of the... I have to go to places like Amazon because they're after closing down. Like, we have no GameStop. We have nowhere that sells like camera equipment, mini fridges, things like that. Like, my city's a black hole. That's what they call it in my country, like the black hole. So it forces us to like go online. So I'm there and I'm like, for fuck's sake, because I'd rather go in, like, grab me crutches, go in, get this thing, get that thing. Like, I can't go in town anywhere looking for armchairs. I have to go online onto Jisk and the Swedish IKEA and find it.
Well, even GameStop nowadays sucks because, Caddy, the oldest Vile child, she went and bought the latest Zelda, pre-ordered it, right?
Uh-huh.
She goes down to the GameStop the day after it comes out to pick up her copy, and they'd already given it away.
What?
It's like, well, what's the point in pre-ordering it if you're going to give it away? Well, you weren't here the day it came out. That's not the point.
No, you pre-ordered it. They hold it.
They hold it for. They're meant to hold.
Or at least they call you.
Yeah.
They didn't call her, and when she was like, "Okay, I need a refund," then it took them like a month to give her the fucking refund.
Fucking hell! Get this shit. GameStop is gone from Ireland.
I don't know if that's good or bad. But doesn't Babbage's own GameStop still?
I don't know.
Babbage's still around.
No idea.
Like another big store where you get a load of stuff called Argos, a UK store. It's gone from Ireland.
Sorry, coffee pot loud.
Okay, no, Babbage's does not own GameStop anymore. Sorry. It's now owned by NeoStar Retail Group. No, I take it back. It's not even them anymore. Who owns it now? Not who owned it in the 90s. Who owns it now?
Starbucks.
If it actually is Starbucks, that'll be funny as hell.
Well, I used to back when the full name of the company was AOL Time Warner. I used to throw Starbucks at the end, and people were like, they bought Starbucks too. Because AOL Time Warner Starbucks, and they were people believed it for a few seconds before I told them no.
Okay, this is weird because it just says that they Babbage's owned it from 96 essentially until 2004, but not who currently owns it, even on Wikipedia.
That's not a good sign.
Ownership of GameStop stock is a mix of institutional, retail, and individual investors. Approximately 29.78% of the company's stock is owned by institutional investors, 18% is owned by insiders, and 52% is owned by public companies and individual investors. So it is
Okay.
That's why you can't find who
That's
owns
why.
it, because it's
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
not a good way to run the company.
Well, there was that story a couple of years ago where people were buying GameStop stock or whatever, and it was messing up the 1% because they were trying to liquidate it, and
Yeah.
So
I always thought that was funny, but I'm like, they could have tried it with a better company.
Right. Yeah.
So I used to love GameStop. I used to love GameStop, but then as a company, they just started just flushing money down the drain.
Well, I mean, I don't get their model anymore, because when you buy a computer game, I know you don't get anything in the box. What about a lot of these other games that I mean, they don't take cartridges anymore or CDs. They just, what are they selling? Empty boxes? I mean,
no, everyone used to sell
pretty much.
CDs.
Now you can, like, one of the things that pisses me off is you can buy, like, for the Nintendo Switch, you can buy the little tiny cartridge that's about that big that has the game on it, or you can buy a download code to download the game, which doesn't come with a physical copy. But the download code costs more than the one with the physical copy.
Yeah.
But you can't resell a download code.
As you can see, I'm playing World of Warcraft. I miss the days of going to, here it was Best Buy, and getting the collector's edition, which was about $20 more, but then you got a nice handsome box that looks interesting on your shelf, and
I have
extra stuff and stuff. Now you don't have that anymore.
Yeah, I've got 4 ESO statues on my shelf in my room.
You play ESO, huh?
I used to.
Yeah, I used to as well. I started playing that with what was the one with the Khajiit and the dragons?
Oh no, I played Day One,
Elsewhere. I was in the pre-release beta, and then
Same.
I'm like, this sucks, because it wasn't. Back then, everything was all structured, so but it wasn't. It didn't feel enough like an Elder Scrolls game for me to feel like I was playing an Elder Scrolls game.
Oh no, they recently updated the lore, and they basically made the game pointless, because it said 200 years before the rise of Talos.
Well, yeah, right. It takes place about 200 about 1,000 years before Skyrim takes place.
Yeah, essentially,
and what I did, my favorite parts of the game were when we revisited areas from Skyrim, because I was familiar with that, and to see what it looks like in a different engine with different, actually, to be honest, more up-to-date graphics and stuff.
Well, I will say they're when they did the what was it, the Shattered Island stuff in ESO, that looked fantastic.
Yeah,
I don't know about the play, because I didn't really play the game, but the graphics on it looked freaking awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it was neat, but the problem with that game for me is that it's too cookie cutter. It's the same. It's the same game each time they come out with an expansion. It's just the scenery changes. Yes, those are nice, but once you've seen it all, it's the same old grindy shit, and
that's the main problem with most MMORPGs, though.
No, I wouldn't say that. I mean, Guild Wars 2 actually resolved a lot of the grindy stuff with what they did, and then WoW stole it, which is what WoW is really good at. But the Elder Scrolls,
No, Genshin is really good, because like each of the different areas is ruled by a god, and it has its own like fields, bad guys. Like, they're not like there's hill trolls everywhere, but they explain why they're everywhere. The refugees from Konya after getting turned into monsters.
Right.
That's why they're everywhere. But you have like Mondstadt, which is basically a European style place, City of Freedom. Then you have Sumeru, which is jungle with a hippie India feel.
Yeah.
Inazuma is Japan. Fontaine is France, which I refuse to acknowledge.
I'll be right back.
Yep.
Yeah. But I mean, again, with Elder Scrolls, they don't have creative control over the lore of that world.
No, they don't.
because Bethesda, it has to be 100% derivative. They can't come out with a new race or anything like that. And honestly, to be honest, what would for me make that game so much better would be if they would just ditch the classes and have everything be skill lines, where you
But
could literally take like a skill line from
yeah,
the from the thief or whatever, and a skill line from the dragon knight, and basically make your character really unique that way. But that would be too difficult for balancing reasons, so they won't do
yeah.
it.
But what they did for that really, really pissed everyone off. You remember the Somerset Isles?
Yeah,
Yeah. If you
yeah.
go into a couple of the buildings, or you antagonize the guards from the Somerset Isles, they'll use Skyrim style magic on you, which they're not meant to be able to use.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
Which and they're
it's
yeah, everyone's like, wait, if they can use those magics, why can't we? Why do I have to get a staff?
right. I mean, I at one point I was like, okay, I understand that this area in Skyrim is supposed to have a lot of those big tarantulas in it, but instead there's wolves.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, okay, 1,000 years, yes, the ecology of any place, particularly a place where magic exists, can change that stuff drastically. But that still kind of bothered me. I didn't like that the Spriggans in Elder Scrolls Online looked very different than the Spriggans in that we saw in Skyrim.
Yeah,
But yeah, they did. They had tree
Yeah.
trunks and then little roots that they would use to walk around on instead of just
Yeah.
being bipedal. Yeah. But
And
anyway.
then is it the sprites? There's ones that are like wood spirits, and it's like, why do you have such pronounced breasts? Why do you need them?
Yeah. Why does this tree person have boobs? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not even. What's worse than that? Why does this snake have boobs? There's
Yeah.
a race of snakes that have boobs, and me and my
Yeah.
friends are standing there. We're like, but why though?
Yeah. I mean, they don't nurse their young. They
No.
lay eggs. I mean, unless they got and who wants to suckle something that has that many teeth, right? So
Yeah.
Hold on, I was gonna see if I could find something. I don't know if I could share it, but you guys ever play Zelda Ocarina of Time?
Yes.
I've heard of it, but no.
Okay, Princess Ruto. Why does a fish woman have breasts?
Yeah.
When you find out in the next game, they literally hatch from eggs into shrimp things.
Oh wow.
In
Funny stuff.
Oh, gravy.
where? Oh, fuck.
Las Vegas. I thought
Fucking
breaking
hell.
news, guys.
That'll be for another discussion. Not this week.
But in Elder Scrolls Online, they have a really weird line out of nowhere. They have a red guard, right? And the family is worried about the red guard over who he married. Now, I was thinking he married an elf, right?
Right.
No, he married a Khajiit.
Oh yikes.
Yeah, no. He said she can do wonderful things with her tail, and I'm like, excuse me, I'm going to go and vomit over here in the bucket.
Yeah. The so
Well,
for example,
wasn't there
like
even in Skyrim? Hold on, in Skyrim, didn't they have the basically what amounted to a porno in the game?
That's in there.
The Argonian
there's a the lusty Argonian maid is a series of books that just have like one scene in each book, and they're ridiculous, is what they are. They really don't, and they're full of innuendo, and it's
Yeah. Like,
but one thing though that I like about I'm a big fan of the sweet rolls, and especially the Skyrim style ones. And
I got one of those at Comic-Con.
Yeah, there's a YouTube channel that has a video called Binging with Babish. Binging with Babish has this big long video sponsored by ZeniMax, where he tries several times to make a Skyrim style sweet roll, and he finally decided he uses the recipe from the game first, which then it's not very good. And then he tries to use the one from the official cookbook. And that's a little better, but then he decides to do it himself with his own ideas, and he makes it really great looking. It looks accurate, and it's made of brioche, which is this really eggy, fatty kind of bread, and it works really well. looks the part.
I hate to be pedantic, but I think it's pronounced brioche.
Well, that's what he.
Listen here, you bald fucker.
Whatever you're trying to share, it's not working, dude.
I know. I failed. We already knew that Mozilla has issues sharing stuff.
And put it in the link. Put it in the chat. Pop in the link. I'm sure I'll share it.
Don't. It was just the Princess Ruto image. That's all.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, Elder Scrolls is.
See, and I wanted to like it. I really wanted to like it, but you know, it just doesn't fit with the rest of the Elder Scrolls games, and so I have to kind of like, okay, I'm playing an alternate universe of the Elder Scrolls universe, and that was the big problem with it.
It's not an alternate universe; it's a Dragon Break.
Whatever.
It's an alternate timeline.
Yeah, it has to be because.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no. Obviously, they wrote Skyrim before they wrote the Elsewhere expansion. In the Elsewhere expansion, dragons show up. Well, that's in direct contradiction to what we were told in Skyrim, where the dragons hadn't been seen in 2,000 years or whatever, and so they had to kind of explain, well, yeah, but if this is only like 4 dragons, and they were only concentrated in Elsewhere and not any of the other provinces and all that kind of shit. But it's like, it just doesn't work.
But I was saying to my friends when we started playing it that the game felt like it was originally written to be a sequel to Skyrim, but they made it go back and be a prequel.
Right. Yeah. But I mean, just the idea that you can have all these different kind of mounts, like the Elec or whatever that's called, the Etric, whatever, the winged, chimera looking thing, and a giant wolf or whatever, and then you go to Skyrim and it's all draft horses. It's and this is supposed to be 2,000 years later. You'd think that if like what happened, right? Like, did all of these animals that they domesticated for mounts just disappear? I mean,
if you remember the Khajiit one, you're basically riding around on Tim, like
yeah.
Your Khajiit's really bulky special needs cousin. It's like used as like.
Okay, for those of you who don't know, a Khajiit can be born in any of several forms. They're all cat forms, but their configuration and size is determined by the lunar cycle upon which they're born. So if you're born in a certain month and you're a Khajiit, you could look exactly like a house cat. You'd be like a talking house cat. And then there's other ones like the ones in Skyrim that are for the most part humanoid, but they got the heads of cats and the claws and the fur and stuff. But then there's other ones that are that look like giant hulking tigers and things that they use for mounts, and those are, again, you're riding a sentient person just like like you. And there's even a particular month where a Khajiit can be born where they look almost like completely human. Yeah, they look like a Breton, like they might have some elven, elven features and stuff. So that's in the lore, but I don't know if it's in Bethesda lore, if it's in ZeniMax lore.
It's in Bethesda lore, and they added it into ZeniMax because when they did the Khajiit one, they added all of them in except for the Breton. But there's the fact that
I tell you. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
The fact that you're basically riding around on someone with special needs for the mounts is ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, they're not human. They're not humans. So that
they're not.
It is weird.
Yeah, like there's non-verbal house cats which they use as spies, right? Yeah. But they talk to the other cats telepathically. Right. But these ones, they basically confirmed they're like non-verbal, where they're only good for mounts. And I'm like, I'm sorry, are you basically telling me that we're riding around on someone with severe special needs? So your Khajiit character's like, okay, Billy, time to go up to the mountain.
Ow!
Yeah. But you know,
Well-
the most fascinating thing to me about Elder Scrolls, and I do like some of their takes on the Tolkien universe, right? So, for example, Wood Elves. Wood Elves in Tolkien are all what we would today call vegans, right? They only eat plants. They don't eat animals. The Wood Elves and again, they only eat plants because they worship the trees and nature, right? Well, the Wood Elves are the opposite. They worship the trees, so therefore they don't eat anything that comes from a tree or a plant. They are on what we would today call a carnivore diet. Everything, all their food comes from an animal. And they also have this thing called the meat mandate, which means that they have to eat within 2 days anything they kill. And that includes including, you know, if they're in a war and they kill people, so they will go on like a month-long fast before a battle because they're going to have to eat everything that they kill in that battle, including humanoids, including, you know, Nords and, you know, and Britons and all kinds of stuff.
So Elder Scrolls Online and Bethesda has adopted this in. So they're part of what's called the Green Pact, which means that anything in the lands where the Wood Elves come from, they can't eat. They cannot use any of the wood, so they have to import all the wood that they use for fires. Right?
And
so they become
go ahead.
They become particularly good at fire magic. Right? Then if they go outside, they can eat fruits and vegetables from anywhere else, just not in the greater forest. But what's funny is all their arrows and their bows are made out of bone.
They use animal products. It's funny too because there was an interview or whatever with one of the creators who said, he says they had a scripted scene in Skyrim that was cut where a wood elf had just come from their great forest in Valenwood, and he was perplexed by a wooden bucket. He did because they don't make things out of wood there. And so he used it as a helmet. He wore the bucket on his head, you know, because he didn't know what it was for, and that was meant to be a very funny scene.
Well, to be fair, I mean, a wooden bucket is probably just as useful as most helmets back in that era. So,
I will say though that, you know, you have in Elder Scrolls V, you have an upgrade from a bow and arrow to a very powerful crossbow, mechanized crossbow with steel bolts. So it's a little bit more oomph than an arrow, but not as much as a bullet. But
there was a guy who made a cup out of a tree from the greater forest, and one of the elves who found him brought him into his house and tied him up on chains and starved him. While he was also on the fast, and someone's like, "Why are you starving him?" Well, I have to have him lose weight, and it's like, "Why?" Because I'm going to eat him. And he's like, "Why?" Because he's like, "Yeah." But the thing is, this guy was like a really heavy guy, and he's like, "I'm wondering, am I going to die before him?"
Yeah, but I thought that was a really funny thing because it makes no sense to me that if you're a group of people who worships essentially trees and plants, why would you eat trees and plants? You know, the Wood Elves of Elder Scrolls make more sense. They're like, okay, we worship these, we think they're sacred. It's kind of like in India, they don't like to eat cows because they think cows are sacred. So, you know, you've got that situation.
No, in Elder Scrolls Online, you actually meet the god. He's a dick.
Yeah.
Oh, to be fair, almost every god in in Elder Scrolls is a dick.
Well,
but I mean, Daedric princes definitely are dicks. Yeah, Daedric princes are definitely a dick. I mean,
even the gods are dicks. Come on, most of them.
I don't think the eight divines are ever like depicted in any of the Elder Scrolls.
Excuse me, you Nordic bastard! It's 7 divines.
9 divines.
No,
There's 9 divines.
It's 9 if you count Talos. It's 8 if you don't. Yeah. But that whole contrivance in Skyrim where the Talos worship was bullshit anyway, because in previous games they firmly established that the the Nords all worship Shor, who is a thinly veiled
So-
Odin,
for
yeah.
Thor.
Shore
Yeah,
is
Thor, yeah.
actually
Yeah.
So in Skyrim, you're the Dragonborn is the only person who can sit on Shore's throne, right?
Yeah.
Which means
I
that the
guess.
Dragonborn is an avatar of Shore.
Yeah. So I mean, they kind of had to finagle
Well,
the lore a little bit in order to get the story.
Yeah.
In
The way
Skyrim.
I looked at it, was, again, it's the passage of time. Now they're
Right.
worshiping Talos because they've adopted Talos, and it's easy for a single country to shift from Shore to Talos. So it didn't. It didn't bug me that much.
I still think though it's so hilarious because I've never played a high elf in Skyrim because every single high elf you meet is a dick. And,
I know, that's why I play him.
And I kill on sight when I see the ones that are traveling around looking for you or other people and stuff. The ones tell you
I
not
know.
to bother them.
I'm a high elf. I am a high elf in both Elder Scrolls Online and Skyrim. And my headcanon is that my high elf in Elder Scrolls Online and Skyrim are like grandfather and grandson. Oh yeah, elves in Elder Scrolls are not immortal. They live for 1,000 years to 10,000, depends on who you ask.
Yeah, well, I mean, the only god I remember seeing in an Elder Scrolls game was the one in Morrowind that the Dark Elves worshipped, and he's like a triune thing where he's one of three. I don't remember his name.
Yeah, no, you meet all those three lads in Elder Scrolls Online. Then in Skyrim, you meet Mullig Ball.
Mullig Ball is not a god. He's a Daedric prince.
Same thing, different name, dude.
Well, I don't. They're more like demons.
I read it up. Basically, the Daedra are the ones that did not stay when the world was being created, and the Aedra are the ones who stayed. That's the only difference of what's being kicked out of the house again. Did you fart too much?
Yeah. As far as the Daedra go, I mean, the most interesting to me is Meridia because she thinks she's a divine. She acts like a divine. She hates undead, right? And so she always empowers mortals to fight undead, but then she also has the bitchy personality that you would expect from a Daedra. So it's like she's a Daedra trying to be an Aedra.
She was an Aedra who got kicked out, who got busted down to Magna Gee, and then she found her way from the Magna Gee through some sort of power thing up to being a Daedra.
Yeah, despite the fact that I've played Hammerfell, Nightfall, Morrowind, Oblivion, and Skyrim, you guys know a shit ton more about this series.
Yeah, that's because we pay attention.
Yeah. See, the games, Vile, are biased towards people who give a shit.
Yeah, like you have to read the books that are in the game, and they tell you this.
I do, I swear. But also, Morrowind, I haven't played since it came out on the original Xbox. Wow. Oblivion, I haven't played since it came out on the original Xbox.
Yes, but I also read the lore and read the wikis.
Yeah, I've only played Skyrim. And obviously Elder Scrolls Online, which is a derivative. So and that's all. There's websites, there's like wikis that you can read all this stuff too if you're ever curious.
Yeah,
but I played Hammerfell way back, and Daggerfall way back in the day.
Yeah.
So Darren, you want to hear what I think would be a good idea for a game for a plot?
Go ahead. Sure, go ahead.
So your character, be whatever they are, just say that they're called the Half-Blood, right?
Yeah.
Now, we're going along and the skies get churny, but something is happening. The stars are disappearing.
Okay.
And as we know, the stars represent, each one represents a Daedra, right?
Well,
it turns out that...
I think it's an Aedra. Yeah, go ahead.
You say what?
They represent the Aedra, according to the stars constellation.
No, the constellations, but the stars themselves are holes that the Daedra made on their way out of Nirn.
Yeah, they're holes to Aetherius. That's where the twinkling lights come from.
Yeah. So they're going out because I would have it that we run into a group of 16, right? The
Right.
8 Daedra and the 8
Uh-huh.
Aedra are all in hiding because they simply say he has arisen. And we have to go through the whole thing of finding out who this he is and trying to stop him.
For everything.
Yeah, what do you think?
Well, that's not a bad idea. I mean, you could do something like that. I'm a little more into the more down to earth kind of things, like the vampire invasions and stuff like that. I mean, I think that in the next one it'd be kind of neat if they elevated the werewolves to the level of the vampire threat in Dawn Guard, and
I think they're going to
maybe
become that because
yeah.
think of how many like people in Skyrim wanted to become werewolves.
Right, and then you had the Silver Hand, which was a throwaway. Essentially, they were like bandits, except they were united. You know, they had this purpose of eradicating werewolves, and so that's why they were at war with the
But you
companions.
can't tell me that someone didn't. One of the werewolves did not have a silver hand on the ground, say disarmed, right? And as a punishment, turned him into a werewolf.
Well, no, hold on, Darren. Did you ever watch Underworld and the sequels?
Yes, I did.
Okay, well, there's two types of werewolves. They had the primordial werewolves that couldn't turn back into their human forms, and which were much more powerful. And then they had the Lycan transform.
Yeah.
You have a variety of werewolf, which is just those primordial ones that are much bigger, much stronger, but still not feral.
Okay, let me crack you down some Elder Scrolls lore. You have the werewolf lore. You have the wolf lords, which are the strongest and most powerful of all the werewolves. Then you have werebears. You have bear lords, where sharks, where tigers, where lions. You have were eagles at one stage. There was a were vulture, but they're extinct.
Yeah.
You have a were alligator. You have basically any animal you can make there's a were of.
Well, they're all servants of the Daedric Prince here seen in Elder Scrolls Online. Yeah. And so that's where it's just like the vampires came from Moloch Ball, I believe.
Which we cannot, for the YouTube overlords, tell you how Moloch Ball made them. But
it's a ceremony that's very degrading. Let's just put it that way.
It is involved with non-consensual intercourse.
Yeah, right. Well, non-consensual hanky-panky.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, as far as Elder Scrolls go, I mean, we know generally where the next one is supposed to take place based off of the limited landscape information we get. Well, it's there's people that are saying that it's going to be a combination of Hammerfell and High Rock, that there might be a political union or something, because those two zones aren't big enough to, in comparison to Skyrim on the map, to accommodate a full game.
Well, given the power of the new consoles that were like so many generations apart from the last one, they could if you. What?
You guys didn't play Daggerfall, did you?
No.
Okay. And Daggerfall was all
dodgeball.
What was that?
I played dodgeball, not Daggerball.
Dagger Fall, not Dagger Ball. Thank you.
Yeah, that was a procedurally generated area, wasn't it?
Because it would create new areas, new towns for you. So it had this massive area if you actually played the game long enough.
Yeah. No, I'm
and that was what, the second game?
I think so, yeah. That was an expansion of the first game, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, but here's the thing: like when modern technology and things like that, if they wanted to,
right?
What they could, what?
We're going to see something like that. Hello Games has announced its own fantasy MMORPG called Light No Fire, which it promises both scripted and procedurally generated areas. And it has some building mechanics as well, but is mostly an MMO, and it looks, I mean, just the footage they showed us looks fantastic. But again, with Hello Games, you're cautious. Do you want to buy opening day, or do you want to wait a couple of months because of the whole No Man's Sky situation? But,
I heard No Man's Sky is apparently good now.
Yeah, it is. It eventually became 99% of what they promised it would be. It just was. Problem was when Sony took over, they had to abide by their timetable, and they released a game that was bare bones, nothing really in it. But over the course of the years since, they've been introducing 2 or 3 free updates a year that have added all the stuff in that they promised. So, there's a really great video about the whole situation by the internet historian. It's called, oh man, I gotta look it up now. Internet historian's this Australian guy who does really good, but also very funny. Yeah, and it's called. The Engoodening of No Man's Sky, which is his thing, and he tells the story in 2 parts. First half hour, he tells you all the stuff that everybody knows, and then he goes and he tells the story again from Hello Games' perspective, and you find out all this stuff that happened to them while they're trying to produce this game, like their entire offices got flooded. And most of their computers destroyed, and a lot of their work got set back because of it, and just but and a lot of it also was where their lead designer, the guy who was in all the interviews and stuff, he wasn't really a show business guy, and he didn't really know like what he should and shouldn't say in the interviews. So when he says we're working on this, that he wasn't aware that the audience would perceive that as a promise that this would be in the game, and so that was part of the problem. He was just naive, and so yes, to answer your question, Revan, No Man's Sky has become a game that has now won awards retroactively.
Good,
because of it. So yeah, and I'm anxious to see what Hello Games does with the MMO fantasy, high adventure, high fantasy MMORPG idea, because. I mean, right away they show us flying dragon mounts in it that are looking at least as good as WoW's do, if not better. But it's a different art style. It's really neat. Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Nothing about it, so I'm not going to comment.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I know next to nothing about it either. I'm just, it probably won't come out until 2025. But you can go look up the trailer. It's
talking about trailer.
Seems promising.
Anyone here watching Husband Hotel?
I know the Vile Child is, but I haven't watched anything. She loves it.
It's only 1 episode, man, and this thing, the new episode on Prime in Husband Hotel is essentially the first episode on YouTube's not canon. This is where the canon starts. But what she's watching is Hell of a Boss.
Yeah, she's watching that too.
You should watch it, man.
Okay.
Stop being old for a minute, okay?
Yeah.
Stop
being old.
To watch.
What?
I've got so many things on my list of things to watch now.
Yeah, it's like Godzilla -1.
Yeah. What if?
I'll have to wait for that video, probably.
Invincible, gotta finish The Boys.
Is Boys
you gotta watch. The Boys is good, and surprisingly, so was for me Gen V. I went into that thinking this is gonna suck, and it actually, I was entertained. So
you know what show I'm so sad it just ended, and I absolutely loved UK Ghosts.
I have not seen past season 1 yet. Don't spoil it for me, please. I know somebody got sucked off, but
of what? Of what?
Ghosts UK.
Is that what you were talking about, Elihu? Was Ghosts
yeah.
UK?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Just making sure.
I'm not spoiling anything, but when you get later on, dude, you are going to cry.
I will tell you though that in Gen V, the guy I was most impressed with was Patrick Schwarzenegger, Arnold's, I think, oldest son. He looks like him in the eyes, And it's like that guy's got a future if he plays his cards right, because he's good looking like his old man. He's not built like his old man. He's built more like an Olympic swimmer, not a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
But and of course when he opens his mouth, what doesn't come out is he he sounds like a normal American dude.
Why are you telling me that he's not reliving his father's speech where he mentioned like coming about 25 times in one speech?
Yeah, he's not that way. But I mean, he's 20. I think he's 29 years old or 30 right now. But again, if that kid wanted to be the next Terminator, and he could play like a more advanced one that looks more human and talks more human, that would be. I would totally watch that.
You know who disappeared? Tom Hanks' son.
Yeah, he did.
Who?
Well, I am officially out of coffee and I'm officially out of cigars, so I'm going to go ahead and end the stream.
Oh, okay.
Right.
I see how you are. All right.
Oh, you don't know us anymore. Okay.
I'll talk to you later then. I have nothing to say. I look for a video coming out from me probably tomorrow, maybe.
Go check me out, Potato Revan, next week, because that's when we'll be back. Later.
Later. Oh, I guess they didn't want to chime in to see which one they wanted me to play.
Whatever one it is, you need to give me a heads up to put my headphones off.
Go ahead, take your headphones off.
They're off.
More singing, more voices. Hail the Klingons, hoorah!
Open Klingon style. Klingon style. Open Klingon style. Klingon style. Open Klingon style. Hey, sexy lady. Open Klingon style. Hey, sexy lady.
This is how far my headphones are, and I can hear it crystal clear. Okay?
I'll see you next week, guys. Later.
Later, weirdos.